Well, we made it through week 11. We did it.
Oh my god.
Boys and girls. Girl, I should
Barely.
say. There's one of us. But,
Would you just assume my gender?
oh, true. An A10 warthog.
Yeah, I identify as high-speed aluminum tubing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Cracks.
Yeah, a lot of injuries this week. We'll get right into that, I'm sure. But holy crap. You think we would get a break eventually with the quarterback play and the injuries and the bullshit.
Nah.
But nah. Oh, and the refing. The refing continues to be
Oh, it's so good.
Atrocious.
a really, really, really
I love
bad
it.
part of this season. It's like,
It can't be this
It's-
much of a storyline. It really shouldn't be. Like,
it looks so bad too, because like you're watching the games and they have those commercials that are about sports betting right before a game, and then it's just like ticky tack call after ticky tack call, and it's like, okay, NFL. Like, I know I'm not one of those people who's wearing the tinfoil hat and thinks it's a conspiracy and that Vegas is in on all this and they're fixing games or what. I don't think that's the case. I think the NFL just has an officiating problem, but it's bad.
There may be
they don't fucking pay
one or
him.
two refs that bet on the games, but
Yeah, I mean, what's the name
it's
of
not all of them.
what's the name of the NBA ref who famously
Tim Doherty.
fixed Tim
Tim Doherty.
Tim Doherty? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Look him up. Look him up on YouTube if you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a really good documentary about it.
There's a 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah, the 30 for 30, and I think there's a front line, but like the 30 for 30 one that Trevor's talking about for sure is worth a
Those are.
watch. It's
His own book.
it's part of the history of sports, and it's really interesting because it's kind of like the dirty side. And thankfully, we haven't really had anything of that caliber in football. There's been some shit over the years with Spygate, with Bill Belichick, and the bullshit that Sean Payton was doing, basically paying players to hurt other players,
Yeah,
and Deflategate and all that. But
It happens in like college.
Well, we just
sports,
got.
you can cheat
Yeah, I was gonna
against
say
those.
the Michigan Jim Harbaugh just got caught stealing signs.
Yep.
and isn't Jim Harbaugh thinking about coming to the pros again and coaching?
He might have to. He might be banned from the NCAA.
You might be. Yeah.
Which is funny because that's like a step up.
right.
you
Well,
know.
and after
Harbaugh was the
failing out
Raiders.
of the pros too, you know.
I thought Jim Harbaugh left because he wanted to go coach college ball.
Yeah, he left San Francisco after winning, or not winning, but going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he didn't get pushed out, is my understanding, is that he just
No,
kind
he
of
wanted to go.
retired.
Didn't
Well,
they?
he
Right.
wanted the pay raise too. Like,
I think that's what
Yeah.
the thing was. Is they didn't want to. San Francisco didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, because they were dealing with a bunch of internal shit with Colin Kaepernick and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was
But
that era. Yeah, you're
And
right.
that led to the current regime's placement. You know, the Shanahan and what's his name?
I mean,
Lynch.
it was the reason like they have half the guys they've got, like all those like shitty years, like all those draft picks. Like Nick Bosa came out of that, Fred Warner.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
The Niners were real bad for a while, and that's why they're in the position they're in now in a Super Bowl window, like squarely in it still, is because even
Jim
with
Harbaugh.
bad draft day decisions, like with Trey Lance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they managed to put together a really crazy roster, and a lot of it's defensively. And I just think Shanahan's just a freaking genius, really.
And they also like hit on some just like guys that, you know, when you hit on like a 5th round George Kittle
Or like
whatever.
Hufanga, he was a late
Yeah.
round guy too.
Yep. Yep.
When you hit
like
on those
that.
guys, that's
Brock
when you, like,
Purdy
create
even.
real teams.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean Brock Purdy, perfect example too. Like he plays great in that system, and you know who knows what he would look like on another team that's less functional
Yeah, if you
than
put
the
him in the
49ers.
Bryce Young situation,
Oh my God, yeah, he would look like Bryce Young does.
yeah.
It would be terrible. Like no one can live in a situation where you have like less than 2 seconds to make a read and get the ball out of your hands every single play. Like
Yeah, you need at least a half second more.
I saw like a meme of like a Div 3 quarterback who'd been sacked multiple times on the day on Twitter, and it's like, this is Bryce Young today, and it cuts to the guy, he's like about to receive the snap and his hands are like this. he's like shaking. I'm like, yeah. Bryce looked down bad this weekend. But a couple things I wanted to get into before we look at the matchups. We do have the trade deadline this week, so this is the last week that you have to make a trade. It's something that we will probably revisit in the off season, like we mentioned on the last episode. I don't know if it makes sense in the context of Dynasty to have a trade deadline. Maybe people feel differently. I kind of like the idea of being able to trade after this week, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's just a reminder. The other reminder is this is a holiday week, so there are a lot of games this week that are not happening.
And Friday.
There's 3 games Thursday, so there's a morning, afternoon, and evening game. Thursday, there's a game Friday, and there's game Sunday, obviously, and then Monday.
Wait, who's playing on Friday?
It's the Jets.
And
yes, another fucking primetime Jets game. I'm so ready. Let's go.
Yeah, at least we get the Dolphins though, so
it's still going to be the Jets.
The Dolphins beat down the Jets. I mean, it can't be that bad.
Dude, the Jets game this week, I could barely watch. It was like, it's the Bills, cool, like Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and this is going to be a high-powered. Nope,
so bad.
It was just like bad offense, and then the Bills just kind of kept scoring, and it was just boring as fuck. That game was horrible. Couldn't even. I barely could pay. I watched it, but I was like, what the fuck is going on in this game?
I whiffed on
going to the Kraken game Friday night. I'm not watching the stupid Black Friday game.
I'm gonna watch it anyway, just because. At this point, like watching Jets football is like, it's like a masochistic, like there's an intrigue.
It's like
when you fart and you're like, but you can't like. It's just bad, dude. It's bad. The Jets are like a fart.
I think watching the Jets is like having one of those farts that you're not sure if it's gonna be a wet bubble or a dry bubble.
And then it's the worst possible, and you just shart a little bit.
It is exactly the tiniest.
You feel greasy.
Is how you
we
feel
move on to the
completing
matchup?
a Jets game.
Stop talking about like you guys are farting. Good God.
Before the matchups, though, I've been working with Danny on our logo for the league, so I wanted to show you guys.
Are you unveiling?
I'm unveiling the logo.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
So we got the NFL. It's like a parody of the NFL logo, right? But it's got a crown, but then the crown jewel is the football. And then we have a star for every team in the league. So you got 12 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's legally distinct enough.
Yep, that's important.
There ain't no way that anyone would like slap a trademark on our shit unless we get huge. Like if this podcast blows up and it becomes like a fantasy footballer situation.
So very unlikely, but still, I mean, you never know. Like Monster Energy drink goes after like random ass like people who use Monster in their titles, so you never fucking know.
Yeah, that's true.
So Danny said that he was gonna get that ported over to Adobe Illustrator. So hopefully we can get to move in on the custom trophy, and I'm gonna update the graphics in the Discord and the Sleeper League finally, so we have something other than a default logo for each, so it's a little more distinct. But thanks Danny for doing that.
Thank you indeed. And as soon as we get the shit from the AI files and all that,
need AI or SVG is what they said.
The scalable vector graphic is perfectly fine. And then once we've got that, we're pretty much golden. So
All right, well, big shout out to Danny.
Yeah,
big shout out, and we'll get that thing ordered so that we can hopefully have it by. Well, you know what? Actually, I think you do the first engraving, so we'll order it maybe after the season because it'll do the first engraving for the first championship.
You should talk with them and see how it is. But anyway, we'll take that offline.
We'll figure it out.
But let's get into the matchups here.
Well,
indeed. Where are we starting?
So
today,
I'm gonna start. We'll start from the top here. We did from the bottom to the top last time. Actually, we were a little bit all over the place last time.
Yeah, we kind of just jumped around.
Yeah, you had some kind of issue, and you were
stupid.
Yeah. Anyway,
stupid HDMI cable death.
So Kelsey dispatched me pretty easily this week.
Fueled by
Kittle
and Hopkins. And
offensively, my team is just at like a lot of bad situations. Like
you started Tyler Higbee.
I had to. Kyle Pitts was on bye. Kyle Pitts would get me 2.7 points, but it would be Kyle Pitts instead of Tyler Higbee. You know, it's the same shit, right? You know what's funny about Tyler Higbee though? The Rams are the only team with no touchdowns to the tight end position this season in the entire league.
Kidding me?
Nope. The only team.
I guess when you live out of 11, I guess. I mean,
hold on.
They throw their shit over the middle, and Puka Nacua and Tutu and
Cooper Cubs. Well,
Tyler Higbee's also been dealing with some stuff. He's playing hurt.
Yeah.
They're the only team with no touchdowns to tight ends this season.
Forgot that Musgrave caught one against the Rams. Yep. Otherwise, the Packers would be on that list as well.
Yep. But yeah, losing K9 really sucked for me. Brutal. Especially since they're playing Thursday evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the turnaround on that, because it's an oblique strain, and that shit hurts.
It's like a 2-week.
Yeah, it's like a 1 to 3 probably, but like we'll see more Charbonnet. We'll see what he is, which is interesting. Kenny McIntosh will also get some touches.
He probably lost him for like 3 weeks because like Pete Carroll said legit. So in the glossary, that he's like basically dead.
Pete's fucking coach speak is like, you got to get the decoder ring out, and I love it because like people who don't watch the Seahawks get so confused with the things he says, because in reference to Kenny McIntosh, who's the 7th round running back that they drafted to kind of be the backup, like break in case of glass sort of running back, he said he's going straight to the front, which freaked a lot of people out who have Charbonnet, because they're like, what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean he's going to be the guy now? Does that mean Charbonnet is just chopped liver? Are we just not going to use him? But it's like, it's Pete speak, so like that he's probably referring to like the front line. Like he's moving to the front line because he's been playing on the practice squad the entire season because he got injured. So like, no, that doesn't mean Charbonnet is just in the shadow realm. It just means that there's going to be more run from another guy that isn't DJ Dallas. So,
and he might even be returning punts, like that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, returning punts, because that's what DJ Dallas does. Like, it'll be interesting to see if Kenny McIntosh is the one returning punts. I doubt it, because he's never been in game action before.
Yeah,
I imagine Mini Marshawn's going to continue to have really scary punt returns. I know Trevor really enjoys watching.
So much.
But yeah, George Pickens, thank God. Matt Canada got fired this morning. He played 44 games.
That was yesterday, I think. But
yeah, it was probably late last night, but I think everyone kind of reacted to it this morning. But yeah, 44 games of Matt Canada. Now we get to see, is Kenny Pickett a bust? Because
we don't know if Kenny Pickett actually knows how to play football.
Yeah, we have no idea, because Matt Canada's offensive system was just so baffling.
I mean, that bad, yeah.
It was just terrible. Like, you see the players arguing with people on social media. Like, this guy was posting film of Deontay Johnson running a route, and the guy on Twitter was basically saying like, well, clearly Deontay Johnson ran the route incorrectly and his timing was off. And Deontay actually replied to this random fucker on Twitter and was basically like, I'm running the route the way that my coach tells me to, bro.
Yeah, right.
What do you want me to do?
Did you see the thing where Deontay like was yelling at like somebody on the sideline who I kind of assume is Matt Canada, and like their rookie offensive tackle had to like pick him up and move him away?
No, I missed that. That's funny. Oh God,
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown, also really disappointing. Kyler Murray looks like someone coming back from a major knee injury and has just looked out of sync, despite showing flashes of who he is. And then Derwin James has been really disappointing this whole season. So, yeah, I'm down bad currently. The only hope I had from this week was I picked up Ty Chandler off the waiver wire, and Minnesota used him a bunch, and Alexander Madison fumbled again, and Brian Robinson. That's about it. On the other side, though,
you're
George.
I mean, you got a really disappointing floor game out of Patrick Queen. Derwin James is toasted.
He's just
but Brian Burns didn't do shit for you.
Yeah,
either,
Brian
really.
Burns hasn't done shit. Like it, yeah, it is what it is.
I've heard that Brian Burns is like
conversely, Kelsey's defense just went ham.
Yeah, Brian Burns had a couple injuries this season, so he's playing through stuff.
Yeah, he's playing through some pain.
The Rams offered Carolina
that,
2 first-round picks for Brian Burns in the offseason, and they turned him down. On one hand, I'm really fucking glad they didn't do that, because then they would have another good edge rusher. But at the same time, like, Carolina desperately needed those picks because the Bryce Young situation is like it's really rough.
Well, the whole team situation is really rough. I mean, it's not Bryce Young's fault necessarily.
They traded away their good defensive players, except for Brian Burns and Frankie Lulu.
They also and DJ Moore.
They got rid of DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey. They traded away like 5 really high picks, useful picks, to get Bryce. And their
left tackle, Ike Ekwonu, is not developing in the way you expect like a top 10 left tackle to develop.
Yeah, their defensive line is in shambles, or offensive line is in shambles.
Both lines are not doing great, honestly.
Yeah,
defense better than offense.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Kelsey's team went off.
Yeah, Devonta Smith had a massive bomb catch that went down at the 1. Jalen Hurts threw a rainbow, and it was one of the best throws that he had of the evening, and pretty much set up the game-winning touchdown. So even though he didn't get that touch, because he caught it and the DB was right there and just touched him down, even though he got up and scrambled in, and they did the whole thing where it was like, touchdown, Devonta Smith or whatever. But then they reviewed it, and he was down by contact.
Not actually.
Yeah, but yeah.
And then they pushed into the end zone.
Of course.
Yeah. Brotherly shove.
Trevor Lawrence had the best game of his career, naturally.
I mean, it was the Tennessee Titans. I can talk about that one later, but
Yeah.
I
mean, it was a monster game.
Aaron Donald killed Geno Smith. Like, decided not to block him.
I mean, actually killed him. Yeah, I mean, he killed Russ too.
He might not. Yeah, he killed Russ too. But like, he might not play this week. Like, Geno Smith might not play this week. I doubt it. I think he still plays.
I read a thing that said he was going to be playing. He just he skipped practice today so he could heal up.
Yeah, it looked like it was a shoulder.
Oh, Tuesday, right? I was thinking it was Monday. Yeah.
But yeah, Aaron Donald came through and did what he does best to Seahawks and hurts them. And that's what he did. I would also
like to say on that play, I don't know much about Phil Haynes, but why was Aaron Donald not touched on that play? Just ask him.
I don't know. It was kind of like that sack earlier in the season with Nick Bosa when it was like the caster's curse. It was like, Nick Bosa doesn't have a sack this year, and then he went unblocked with a free shot and got the easiest sack of his life, and he looked like a psychopath when he did it. It's the same shit. Right. It was like, God, Aaron Donald's really been struggling. Oh wow, and Geno Smith looks hurt. Like, God.
Oh boy.
George Kittle.
Aaron Donald things.
It's just fucking retire already, please. Leave me alone. It's like I just got over Todd Gurley, and you're still here.
Yeah. When you're the best player in football, sometimes you just don't go away.
Yep. I'll forever be scarred with the this shit. When he got
that was so ballin', dude.
Yeah.
That's like
I was like I can't even be mad. I can't be mad in the Super Bowl when you basically got the game-winning sack to win the Super Bowl, and you're looking to the camera and doing this. Like I couldn't even. I was like, dude,
That's
you know,
the
respect.
fucking ring.
That's baller. You're a fucking
I gotta
baller.
figure out.
Even though you're an asshole.
First or Steph Curry did that. Because Steph did that for the dagger 3 that won him his last ring. It's
maybe.
If he stole that from Aaron Donald,
I think so.
even more respect to Aaron Donald for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Real respect's real, I guess. But yeah, George Kittle had a highly productive day. Other than that,
one on the season.
No,
he's up there. Kittle
Kelsey.
is a monster.
Yeah,
He's kind of vulturing Debo a bit. Like Debo's not been as productive this season, and it's kind of like you're seeing more Kittle.
Since Debo went down,
I think Debo's just kind of hurt, dude.
Week 3, I mean, we've seen 13, 1, 2, 26.6, 13, 23, 20, 20. Kittle's been on a fucking roll.
Yeah.
Kittle's tight end 3. Hawkinson is tight end 1, and Kelsey is
overall.
tight end 2.
I think Trevor is right. Like we're seeing more tight end usage across the league, and finally this season, like as the silver lining of all the bad quarterback play is like we're finally seeing more usage of tight ends, and like for fantasy, we're seeing more relevant tight ends than ever. And it's not just like, well, am I gonna stream Turd Ferguson off the wire this week and sit George Kittle because he's done nothing? But like this season, it's like there's some guys like Sam Laporta came out of nowhere, and Dalton Kincaid came out of nowhere. I mean, well, not out of nowhere.
Sam Laporta didn't come out of
nowhere. They came out of the draft and they were productive, which is like not
Sam
typically
Laporta
what
came
happens.
Iowa, which is where good tight ends come from.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean that's where George Kittle came from.
And Hawkinson.
because of Travis Kelsey,
that's
a lot more college coaches have been willing to stake faster, bigger dudes as tight ends that want to catch because it works. Like most of the time, those guys, like when I was growing up, most of our tight ends couldn't catch a fucking ball.
They got stone hands.
Yeah, they just got lineman hands, man. It just bounces off, right?
That's funny because like that was always what people said about Evan Ingram is like he had stone hands, but he was like such a good blocking tight end, but he was so athletic that he ended up being a good receiving option. And like early on in the season, last season we saw like the Evan Ingram that we knew when he was younger. But yeah, that is kind of what's happening is like they're getting more opportunities.
If I would have got taller, I would have been a tight end, but because I was so short, 5'11", short in football.
I can see you being a tight end.
I was actually really good at catching the ball. Like, I have hands, bro. I can catch a fucking ball. But
if you were like 6'3", 6'4",
I would have been a tight end.
Yeah.
The other thing about tight ends is like in terms of roster construction, like you don't have to pay them as much as like receivers. So if you've got like a good one, like that's another receiver, you don't have to pay as much, helps roster construction. People like that.
Well, didn't used to have to pay them as much, but now
they're starting to come around.
Now they're going to have to get paid because not only are they blocking and having to learn the blocks and setting the edge, and now they have to catch the ball too. So it's like one of those things where it's become a lot more skilled, and so that'll all equal out in the end. But right now, you're correct. It's a lot cheaper to have a bunch of tight ends that are good. Look at the Seahawks. We have fucking 5.
I mean, the proliferation of the Kelsey-style tight ends has just like now, like in the past 2 or 3 years, really hit the NFL.
I wonder if that's kind of analogous to the shift away from the fullback to the halfback meta that we currently see. It's like we're starting to see more pass-catching tight ends as opposed to
tight ends with a couple of.
It's like a hybrid position now. It's like you have a traditional instead of having like
still run a tight end in a fullback route,
right, or even a receiver. Look at Jake Bobo. He literally did a couple of sweeps like the last couple of weeks in a row.
Jake Bobo kind of profiles more as a tight end than a wide receiver.
Dude,
he's a giant wide receiver versus the tight end spectrum is getting muddy.
I mean, he's a really good as a general thing. He's very good for a rookie at run blocking.
Yeah, did you see that play where they put him? They did like this orbit motion with Bobo, and it like confused the fuck out of the linebackers, and like it was a cool play. Like Shane Waldron, aside from the disaster class that he pitched this weekend, had some cool shit that he was doing with Jake Bobo. And
he has some interesting tight end stuff, but like that's kind of where it ends.
Even though we don't see that anymore, like he doesn't do that shit. It's like fucking weird.
Anybody else we really need to
Jamar Chase had a horrible fucking game, and then he got a touchdown at the last second, and I was like, all right, I lose. Yeah. I was just going to do the Trevor GG thing. Oh, no, Jamar Chase got 9 points. I'm done. I'm dead. I can't come back.
Jamar Chase had a floor game. I'm fucked.
I'm fucked. Yep. Anyway, you got me, Kelsey. Good shit.
The beatdown could have been so much worse too if she had slotted in Singletary over.
Oh yeah,
Williams or Connor.
Let's not forget that. Yeah, she Dannied. Like last week, Danny played a bunch of the wrong players, and this week she played a bunch of the wrong players. But my team was just significantly worse, so I ended up losing.
Yeah. Damn. Like Darius Slayton fucking went off too. Okay.
Yeah, that
won a game.
The Giants shocked the Commanders.
Oh, that's what that meme was for with the Italian hands.
The Giants
Danny
won
DeVito
a game. Yeah.
The Joe Pesci.
Yep. All right, Trevor.
All right.
Yeah. I overachieved on my week.
You obliterate. Like Casey didn't even have a bad week. Like you just
Casey
had a better
one. Casey was slated to have a terrible week, and somehow ended up almost beating me. But Monday night before the game, I was sweating bullets. I was like, I'm probably gonna lose.
Yeah, weren't you down like 40 points almost?
Yeah, I was like, unless Travis Kelsey just has a 40-point game, I'm pretty much over with. But then all of a sudden, literally back-to-back plays, I got Darius Slay came out, picked off Mahomes. Right?
Oh no, wasn't it Byard?
It was Byard.
No, it's Byard. Kevin Byard. That's right. Kevin Byard came out, picked off Mahomes, and then after that, back-to-back, Jones got 2 sacks.
Yep.
Yeah, that trade finally paid off for you.
My trade paid off. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
It feels good when you make a trade and then it ends up winning you a week, literally. Like.
Yeah. Well, especially after getting 2.5 or 3 weeks. Not 2.5. 3 weeks of like just nothing.
Yeah, because he was on bye and he had 2 weeks where he was basically just absorbing triple teams because that's what he is. Like Chris Jones is a goddamn monster.
For the past
but like, come on, man, go get me a fucking sack or tackle 5.5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the problem though with like the 3-tech like D tackle is like they're just gonna see more double teams than a guy coming off the edge, and it's just kind of the way it is.
Well, the Chiefs' defense is just insane at rushing the passer. It's like they just generate overwhelming pass rush without even blitzing. Their personnel is incredible.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. They blitz the fuck out of Trent.
No, it's like it's effortless.
All the time. That Steve effortless. Loves to blitz.
Well, my biggest worry was I switch out Purdy for Dobbs because I'm like, well, if Dobbs is going to put up close to 30 points at Arizona almost every week, and then he puts up 30 points his first week with the Vikings, I might as well throw him in and see what happens. And he 3 fumbles, a fucking interception.
Really
the Vikings happened. Like, it wasn't Kirk's fault. It was just the Viking Butterfingers. Like, that center's getting super sweaty and greasing
Apparently,
up the ball.
They need to replace their center because that is something that's happened to both their QBs now.
Yeah.
And they got to figure that out. It's definitely not the quarterback at this point.
I don't think Josh Dobbs is having these issues in Arizona. I don't think he was fumbling.
That's actually no. He was. He fumbled twice, and he fumbled a bunch in practice, and that's actually why he was released to Minnesota. Was because the problem they saw was his fumbling problem, and it was always in practice, but it was never in the game.
I mean, he fumbled a shit ton in games. It's like more weeks than not.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's just putting up ridiculous passing numbers.
Got a couple 2 fumble weeks. I mean, that's not great.
Yeah, he pretty much went on a streak. He fumbled like every week.
Every single game for what, 7 games in a row?
I mean, but
And
he
then
like
capped it
lost.
off with 3.
I mean, but he's got like a couple games with 2 losses. Like those are the ones that are going to stand out.
So the
Yeah,
Vikings were
absolutely.
looking at Kirk fumbling like crazy, but just throwing ropes all over the yard, and then they saw Josh Dobbs, and we're like,
Is that Kirk?
"Is that
wait!
is that Black Kirk Cousins, not
It's
Dak?"
Black Kirk Cousins, yeah.
Dude,
Let's
I
get
just
him.
want to shout out like the absolute consistency of Trevor to just not play Khalil Mack at the right time.
Oh my god.
I played him last week and he didn't do shit. And so I was like, well, is he really going to be able to do anything like this week
It's
against
Against the Packers? Fuck yeah.
Khalil Mack is like
no,
that
because
meme.
here's the deal. He's the person that they're going to stack everybody on.
Yeah.
But apparently it didn't fucking matter.
No, it didn't. The Packers' offensive line is
Suspect.
Retarded.
Dude.
But it doesn't matter. You can't pick the right game for him.
No.
Other than
you...
me missing the fact that I didn't know that he had beef with the Raiders. I had no idea. If I would have known, I would have played him.
you would have played him for sure.
But-
Point
Yeah, that's always a
game.
good reason to play somebody is beef. Yeah.
But Khalil Mack and Gabe Davis is like that Predator meme, where it's like,
Yeah.
never know when to fucking start him.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even really mattered that much,
Nah.
considering the fact that the only person I could have switched him out for where it gave me that much more points would be Wilkins. And why the fuck would I pull Wilkins when he's playing against Vegas?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? He's gonna eat that team alive. And apparently he didn't do shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he still got 2 QB hits, and it's like
He was
that's all
productive.
he's
He
had.
didn't have a boom game. Like you
Yeah.
definitely want Khalil Mack's points there, but like to Trevor's
Still.
point, every time he plays him, he does nothing. He just takes the
He
week
gets
off.
3 points. He gets 3 fucking points or 7
Yeah.
points.
I said it before. You should ask your mom. Like, hey, mom, should I play Khalil Mack this
doesn't
week?
know who the fuck-
Exactly. She'd be like, sure, do it, Trevor, and then he'll go off.
That is the stupidest
I
fucking
don't-
reason.
like,
Trevor,
I hate
leave
you.
him on your bench because I'm starting him every week in the PSYOP league that he's available, and I need these points.
Yeah, fuck Steve.
Keep him on the bench.
Dude, I hate
Okay.
that.
I mean,
So dumb.
I mean, your team went fucking crazy. You scored the most points out of everybody this week.
yeah, imagine if I did play him and I played Brock Purdy, it wouldn't even been a contest. It would have been
No, it
fucking
really wouldn't have.
outrageous.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you might have gotten the record for most points, so I don't know.
I mean, you would
Nah,
have been.
I think Danny
no,
still
been
has it. Danny or George, I
He
can't
would have been
remember.
up 45. He would have been up near in the 260 range.
Yeah, you need to be. I
would've
think
been-
265 is the league record at the moment, which is fucking
Yeah.
crazy. Like even when we saw that, it was like, is this legit? Like, is this
I would
like?
have been right around 254, I think, if I would.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it shows your max available in the report.
Yeah,
Oh really?
yeah.
Yeah.
As if you
On
played your
mobile, at
best.
least.
Yeah.
Where?
In the league like digest on your phone. They do it every
I don't know.
Monday or Tuesday or whatever.
It's,
I don't know if they do
yeah,
that
every
on
Tuesday.
Oh, not on the
No,
desktop one.
It's
It doesn't-
only in the app
Yeah, it's one of those stupid
because
sleeper
fucking
things.
sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf had a really good game. TJ Watt had a really good game. And then Travarius Ward is the other one I wanted to shout out.
Yeah, that was a good fucking waiver pickup.
I don't know if you noticed this.
Trevor,
Oh,
your
this is
max.
so good.
Trevor,
PF
did you
would
see
have been a record.
this shit, Trevor?
What?
So Jalen Carter tries to pick off a spike.
Close. He's like really close.
So close.
That's fucking amazing. Actually, so smart too. Like, look at his hands.
So it's funny.
He's right there.
What's funny is he said the reason he did that is because he saw Grady Jarrett try it against the Falcons on YouTube, and he said he wanted to try it in a game.
Hey, he's smart.
This
man.
kid is such
Everybody
a
else is
goober.
giving up on the play because they know what's going. They know that we're just gonna spike it.
Yep.
But now
Yeah,
they know they have
exactly.
to fucking shove him into the ground because he's gonna do that every
Yeah.
single
Yeah,
fucking time.
he's gonna keep going for it. I love that.
I saw that during the game. I was like, no shot. I don't think the announcers even said anything. I just saw Jalen Carter like, like trying to
First lineman pick.
Yeah,
Dude,
because like when Grady Jarrett
amazing.
tried it, he actually got his hands on the ball, but the ball hit the ground for like he almost had it. He pinned it to his shoulder, but it came down, and they ruled it an incompletion.
Oh,
but he was this close to picking a spike. But like,
tough.
yeah, Jalen Carter said he saw that on YouTube and was like, I want to try that.
I'm gonna do that.
That dude is such an athletic freak that like he might be able to do it.
He could maybe do he's got to make it.
Fast.
He's got to make it into his move. He's like got to practice it.
Yeah,
he's got to get some people to practice it with him in the off season or something.
Yeah, it would be really cool if we could see that.
That's why he's on my taxi squad right there,
dude. He's
doing
gonna have a good career.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think
Casey's.
Well, hold up. The only duds on Trevor's team we wanted to talk about was
Austin Ankles, dude. What the fuck?
He's got he just looks like he has a high ankle. Like he just looks slow. Like you watch the game and he's like getting run down by linemen, and it's not linemen, but like linebackers are catching up with him. Not just the safety. It just doesn't look like Austin Eckler this year, and it's too bad.
He's he's dealing with a high ankle sprain. Staley made everybody change their cleats to play in Lambeau.
Brandon Staley needs to get fired.
Yeah,
and
that's my takeaway.
It clearly affected every single Charger. Like the mandated change in footwear.
Yeah, clearly
affected everybody.
After blowing a 30-point halftime lead in the playoffs against the Jags last season and losing that game, I was shocked that they brought Brandon Staley back, even with the 10-win season last year. Like,
I mean, did you see the
just
it was
no.
like at the end of like close to the end of regulation where Justin Herbert just like throws the ball into the ground?
No,
like frustration.
I did.
No.
Yeah, dude. It's like, oh, you made Justin Herbert like the most calm dude in the league mad.
Yeah, the chillest dude in the league mad. Yeah. That was his center more than because like they got delay of games.
Yeah.
And he wanted the snap to go, but the center wasn't looking and didn't see it and didn't hear the count because Lambeau was so fucking loud.
I mean, it was just the combination of what was going on that day. Like,
the Chargers were getting chargered and Justin Herbert got fucking ticked.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not good out there, man.
It's not good out there for the Chargers. You lose to the Packers.
Big win for the Packers because like the Chargers are a good team, all things considered. So anyway, Casey
had to get one at some point, right?
Yeah, right. Casey, Tyreek Hill is a cheat code. Like,
he scared me. He was doing backflips in the end zone.
He was freaking out.
That's the reason to get scared for sure.
Hey, yeah. I mean, every time you play against Tyreek Hill, it's like buckle up. Hopefully your stud does something.
Is this
like,
a 60-point game again? Please stop.
I think
he got hurt, and I was like, "Yay!" And then
he's coming back.
Like, no!
He's coming back. Isaiah Simmons got a pick 6 on Sam Howell. It sealed the game. I'm sure that was a dagger because like that was near the end of the game, and it's a huge point swing for Casey.
I mean, yeah,
that's pretty much what dug you into a hole going into Monday was the Isaiah Simmons pick 6.
The pick 6,
which is his best play of the season.
Not only that, but Justice Hill did nothing.
Yeah, that pretty much made up for the Justice Hill nothing game.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Fred Warner also like 30 points off a linebacker.
He went crazy.
This is the highest. This is like the highest Casey scored in like what? How many weeks now?
A bit.
Like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, Casey.
The entire season almost.
Casey's had a couple rough bye week situations. Like his game against me that he won. He had basically nobody, and I still lost. So
I think this is his highest scoring week so far. I'm going through all the weeks right now. His other highest scoring is 179. Oh no, he had week 4. He had 190.
Okay.
But since week 4, he hasn't scored this well.
He hasn't really,
But he hasn't hit over 200.
At least he's consistent.
No, he has not. His highest is 195.
At least he's consistent. He's Mr. Consistent.
Yeah. Well, he was consistently at 130 for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to be consistently at 130.
Not what you want.
That's like the Steve layer. You don't want to be stuck in the Steve layer.
Don't be scoring 130.
Don't be doing that to yourself. I mean, Casey he just had a floor game from all his IDP guys except Fred. And that's pretty much what happened here. I mean, Debo, like we said earlier, Debo's been playing through something and Kittle's been stepping up in his place and getting targeted a lot. Like Debo's rushing production is completely evaporated. And
McCaffrey.
Josh Jacobs has just been disappointing. Like he's had a couple weeks where he's been dominant, but other than that, he's just been a floor of like 5 points, which is not what you want from a highly drafted running back like Josh Jacobs. He's really good at football, but
the thing with Jacobs is that he's coming off like, well, okay, so
Jacobs is fucking tough. He can play through an injury.
He can play through it. This game looks like he got scripted out of it.
I don't know. It was pretty close.
I
think it was more that offensively they just couldn't get anything going. Like you're playing with Aiden O'Connell, who's basically throwing the ball at Devontae Adams every opportunity he gets, and that's clearly their MO because they were playing from behind the whole game, and their defense actually did a pretty good job containing.
I mean, that's exactly it. Right?
They have new staff coming in saying they're going to get Devontae Adams the ball, so that's their game plan.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to tell that to your fans and then all of a sudden, change up.
And just run the ball 25 times.
Miami got Jalen Ramsey back, and so they're
Jalen Ramsey went.
Wow, Ramsey
crazy.
Actually did something this week.
Holy we'll get to that in Jordan's game, but he had a monster day. But that's pretty much all she wrote for Casey. I mean, Trevor advances to 8-3 along with Jordan, so they're the top of the league right now, the 1 and 2 seed, and then
we're tied up, baby.
Casey is squarely in the mix with even Steve.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I guess we can cover it at the end.
Worry about it.
Steve was saying something about if I win, how does me winning allow 5 people to have an opportunity?
So we're all fighting for the 5th seed, and I actually wrote up a little thing that I can go over later once we're done with matchups. But basically, because if Casey had won, it pretty much would have squarely cemented him in that 5th seed. But because he lost, Kelsey, Joe, Danny, Casey, and I all have opportunities with varying success probabilities to actually make a run for the 5th seed if things go any one of our particular ways. Okay. So like there is a universe where I sneak into the playoffs. It's an unlikely universe.
It's not going to be through the 6th seed.
So, but you'd have to win out and score a ton of points.
I have to I have to win enough to get to the 5th seed.
Yeah,
because it won't be through the 6th seed.
Unless
Joe is very
apart.
likely going to take the 6th seed at this point in the year, based on
if Joe keeps losing. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
If Joe could, losing, yes. Which is like pretty on brand.
Pretty on brand for you, yeah.
I mean, because
if Joe wins out, he could take the 5th seed,
and so you're taking it from Casey. So yeah.
It's going to come down to week 14.
Yeah, if it is going to come down to week 14. If Joe wins out, he can take the number 5 for sure, and then the number 6 is all over the place.
But so I don't want to, obviously, but technically I could lose out and still be. I would lose my bye week for the first round of the playoffs.
I think you're.
Hey, on your bye week,
much locked in.
If you have a bye week, you could play Khalil Mack.
Hey, true.
You can warm him up for the playoffs.
You're right. I could. Yeah. We'll talk. Yeah. We'll talk about it later. I was going to ask about how the playoffs.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we should go over that, but
at 8
we'll have a whole playoff segment week 14.
You're locked in. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll lay it all out. Yeah. But it works the way you would expect.
Yeah. I imagine I've been in the fucking 1st seed and the 2nd seed of playoffs and lost every single time I've been there. So.
Yep.
But yeah, Jordan Jordan and Trevor.
I want that
locked.
Belt, bro.
You've clinched.
Belt. So bad.
All right,
Trevor. Already.
Yeah, you've clinched. You and Jordan clinched.
You and Jordan have clinched. Yeah. If you get to 7 losses, that's kind of where elimination starts to happen. As it stands currently.
Speaking of 7 losses, Ben and Matt.
Yeah, sorry boys, you're out. Neither of you are there.
Yeah, but you could play spoiler. Matt can play spoiler this week for me and knock me out of the 2nd seed.
That's half the fun of being bad at fantasy football. If you have a bad team, you could at least piss people off with your your good players.
Create some bullshit.
Don't do it. Just drop everybody from your squad right now.
Okay, no Osoing.
Yeah, no.
No, not drop them. Just put them on the bench.
Everybody on the bench.
So, I think the really shitty thing about this game is the Joe Burrow thing.
Oh yeah,
that's sad.
We gotta talk about the Joe Burrow thing at some point. Like,
I mean, better time than ever. I mean, Ben's got him, and
that's
silver lining.
Luck, bro. Worst luck.
Ben is at the bottom of the barrel in terms of the standings. Like, his team isn't terrible. Like, he drafted fine. He's just had a really bad luck with injuries. But Joe Burrow's done for the season. But silver lining here is that Ben doesn't really, like, it's not like he was playoff bound. And this,
Ben's done for the season.
Yeah, Ben's done. Ben's thinking to the future. He's trying to avoid he's trying to avoid losing the toilet bowl at this point.
Okay, so I remember the other week I asked about that, and you said no, you want to lose out first because then you're first pick.
Well, you get a first pick, yes.
But if you win the toilet bowl is how it's set up right now to win first pick.
No,
I think it's based on regular season.
It's based.
I just looked at it. I just looked at the brackets, and it says whoever wins the toilet bowl, it goes for first pick.
No, the picks are set by hand by the commissioner.
By you, okay, so it's just a weird.
That Sleeper's doing its own bullshit by default.
Yeah,
but we will redo it.
The picks will be based on the reverse.
So then, what do you win for winning the toilet bowl?
Not
you win the right to buy food and pay for.
No. If you lose the toilet bowl, you buy food for everybody.
Yeah,
but if you win in the toilet bowl, then you don't have to. But your team is the second worst in the league, so I guess you get a second overall pick. Which is cool.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah.
It's still
second overall is great.
Yeah. You could get Marvin Harrison Jr. or Drake May or
better than where I'm gonna be sitting. If I'm fucking 11 or 12 or 10.
Caleb Williams or you could pick Joe, because isn't Joe declaring for the draft? Aren't you going to be a quarterback, Joe?
What?
I'm declaring. I'm going to be a kicker.
What?
Are you talking about me or something?
Yeah, you. You're declaring.
I'm trying to get first overall pick money.
Yeah, you're taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson needs to be replaced. Like someone's got to do it.
I could lose as much as Zach Wilson. Are we kidding?
And Mac Jones.
And Mac. Oh, speaking of Mac Jones,
a Patriot?
That's a really good point.
Dude, I don't care, man. How much? Like the amount of money that the first rounders make? Hell yeah! Like, I can die for that much.
I'll take that signing bonus and go home.
yeah, exactly.
No,
Never play it down.
I'll just be on the IR. Like, I'll just pull in Aaron Rodgers. It's cool.
So speaking of Mac Jones, Mac Jones has the same amount of losses as Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium in 81 less games. So Tom Brady went 89-13 at home.
Yikes.
Mac Jones has gone 8-13 to start his career. At home.
Dude, I still don't know how that dude
for the people who say that Tom Brady isn't the GOAT, like, that's a stat. Like, holy fucking shit.
Speaking of the Patriots and the Tom Brady Belichick's, Belichick, there's talks of him becoming a Charger.
I did hear that.
I saw that. I did see that there was a trade rumor for Belichick to the Chargers.
The things he could do with that defense.
Oh my God. How terrifying would that be?
Dude, could you imagine him with Justin Herbert and just being like, do the thing, and then Justin Herbert does the thing?
No.
Like, could you imagine? Like,
Bill Belichick literally doesn't understand offense, though. Like, he actually doesn't get it. So
it's fine. Keep Kellen Moore.
It's fine. Their defense is also impeccable.
Yeah, their defense.
That's the thing.
Their defense could be.
You think their defense is scary now? Oh my God! You give them Bill Belichick, and they're going to be shutout games. You're not going to score more than 6 points, 12 points.
I mean, they need it.
It would be vintage Patriots.
They need to get fucking defensive know-how in there, because Brandon Staley ain't it.
I mean, he's either going to go. Here's the thing, though. He is leaving New England, and he's going to the Chargers, or he's going to the Giants.
That would be crazy. If he went to the Giants, that would be crazy. Yeah. I think he goes to the Chargers, though.
He would go, which would be going back to the Giants, because that's where he started.
Yeah.
Didn't he start with the Browns?
He did.
That was his first coaching gig.
He was an assistant coach.
He's an assistant coach for the Browns.
Oh, okay, got it.
It wasn't
his head coaching.
I thought it was the Jets.
Started the Giants.
Wasn't it the Jets? I think he was head coach. He relinquished his duties. It's a New York team. It was the Giants or the Jets. It was
One
one
of
of
the
those
New York
two.
teams.
Okay, so he started. Yeah, it was the Jets.
But the Jets and the Giants, they're the same shit. Let's be honest. It's the same fucking market. Honestly.
Well, no, one's New Jersey.
New York.
There's so much cross-pollination with the fan base. Yeah, they play in the same
Whichever
stadium.
one is doing well is the one that New York cares about. I mean,
Which
they
is
both
part of the
suck.
reason why I fucking hate that market. Like, it's the same shit as LA. Like, anyway, I don't want to wax lyrical about that. I'd go way too hard on LA.
But wouldn't that be weird if because is he part owner at
New England?
The Patriots?
yeah, New England?
I don't know.
No,
I don't think
I mean,
so.
he might have a minority
No
stake. That
way
doesn't mean
does
anything.
Kraft even
Minority
allow
stakes
that.
don't.
How
They don't
would
have
you know?
decision
They're
power.
like fucking best friends.
I
Bro.
wouldn't be surprised if there's some strings there, you know? Wouldn't be surprised.
which would be I don't know, it'd be kind of weird. It's kind of like the whole Tom Brady saying I'm gonna come be the fucking quarterback for Las Vegas because we don't have one. Because he owns part of the team.
Yeah.
Did that sale ever go through? Is he actually on the ownership group? I never
Pretty
actually
sure.
followed up on that. Okay.
Brady ownership Vegas.
Well, to like the matchup though with
I don't think Belichick has any. I don't think he owns any stake in the team.
Yeah,
I think he just has...
It was in May they finalized it.
Oh, okay.
The Brady, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on to the matchups.
So, real quick on that Bengals game, the only other thing I wanted to say about that one was, and I actually missed this in your matchup, Trevor, is Logan Wilson.
Yeah, he goes hard.
He went hard. He killed Mark Andrews.
Yep.
With that hip drop. He did that hip drop tackle and actually broke his fucking leg.
Oh, you know what else we missed? I'll say it after you're done.
Logan Wilson also injured Lamar Jackson, and he also came out of nowhere running like 100 miles an hour and destroyed Odell Beckham Jr. on his big play that he made and injured him. So he injured 3 players in that game.
He's a monster.
He's a fucking beast. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
TJ Watt knocked out Zay Flowers with a fucking haymaker.
That happened too. A lot of defense
TJ Watt
this week.
Haymakered Zay Flowers through the fucking helmet.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is that, dude? Is he trying to start an MMA career?
Yeah,
Dude,
TJ Watt's
he must
a
have
champ.
fucking rattled that cage too to like haymaker him through the helmet. Like holy
Yeah,
shit.
he went right through the bars and hit him in the chin and just fucking knocked him on his ass. He was out for like a second or two.
That's crazy.
TJ Watt's a fucking
He's a monster. He's a huge guy.
Nightmare, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you remember that? Like, it was a couple weeks
think they
ago
have
where
to
he like
fucking go
loses
through
his
the-
helmet on a sack.
Yeah, the helmetless sack.
Actually looked deranged, man.
Yep.
Like, that dude,
Dude was crazy.
like actually looked like he was like
He's out
like,
for blood, bro.
Real talk though. Did they put Flowers in the concussion protocol?
I don't
They
know.
might have.
I don't
Let's go
know.
look.
Because they probably should have.
I mean, Ben needs him. Ben needs Zay if he's trying to survive the toilet bowl. He's gonna need him.
Absolutely, but like I'm just asking now because
And
that would
also
definitely
with
explain the
Andrews out,
7
like, Zay
points.
Flowers is going to get like legit like #1 targets. Like,
Well, okay, so I did notice something when I was watching that game. When Zay Flowers, I think it was late in the game. I think third quarter. Don't remember, but he got a bomb touchdown from Jackson, and OBJ was holding on that play, and then the play that they ran immediately after that resulted in Nelson Aguilar's touchdown. So like Zay Flowers could have had a massive day had it not been for OBJ holding on his bomb touchdown. So that was a factor in his output here. Not that it really mattered. I mean, he had Saquon Barkley and David Montgomery who just went fucking crazy. And then, like we were saying earlier, Devontae Adams was featured in that game, targeted 13 times, and which is part of the reason that Casey's Josh Jacobs did nothing. But Ben finally won a game this week.
You got it. Win number 2 on the year.
Also, I forgot about this with the Joe Burrow thing. Joe Burrow's been sacked 148 times in 52 games.
That's a lot.
Andrew Luck was sacked 115 times through 55 games, and his career ended early due to injuries.
Well, yeah, because he said that he didn't want to get hit anymore. He was scared for his family.
Sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to put that into context, how much of a gamer Joe Burrow is, he's been sacked way more in less games than Andrew Luck.
Joe Burrow also his
Joe
rookie
Burrow's
year,
also
like got fucking his ACL, his MCL, and had structural damage in his knee. Like his injuries are insane.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow also talks hella shit.
He does.
And when you talk
he's confident.
hella shit, you have to be able to back it up. You can't just be talking all this smack and then do nothing about it. Yeah. So when you're someone like him, like you better fucking come to work.
He does. He does. It's just that this year is just a lost season because of injury, unfortunately, and hopefully he can get right.
Too many fucking times.
He's been hit too many fucking times. Exactly.
Well, actually, the calf injury,
like a real tackle. Like they need to do something about their line.
Well, aside from that, the calf injury that he sustained during practice before preseason even happened was non-contact. There's video of it.
I watched that, yeah.
And it's just that's bad luck. Like non-contact injuries are just shitty luck, unfortunately.
It's bad luck, and it's also really bad because it's just your body failing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Kirk Cousins. Like he didn't do anything wrong. He just planted funny, and his 34-year-old Achilles tendon just gave up on him.
Why?
Yeah, it sucks, but it's the game that these guys play, you know.
And there's
the Bengals have to do something at O-line. Like their O-line's been bad since Joe Burrow got there.
Yeah. I mean, they've got good defense.
Yeah, wins championships, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Or at least gets you there.
No, it wins championships. It doesn't win you a Super Bowl, though.
Yeah.
It'll get you to get you through a championship, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl.
It'll make you conference champ.
It won us the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It did. Well, the Legion of Boom was historic for so many reasons.
Yeah, shout out to Peyton Manning for that one.
Thanks for looking like a high school team, kid.
Thank you, Peyton.
Let's talk about Matt. So I thought Kyler looked fine. He definitely looks like he's coming back from an ACL tear, but
fantasy-wise, he did respectably.
I mean, he did respectably. He even with his new shiny toy, Trey McBride, out there, who didn't have an amazing game. He's just not on the same page as his wideouts, and I think Houston's defense is a lot more difficult than people give him credit for. Like Jalen Petra, as you know, Steve, is a very good player.
He's so good.
And their defensive line generates pressure, and
Will Anderson is fantastic.
Will Anderson's really good. Yep.
Stingley is a great cornerback.
Derek Stingley is like, what the fuck off?
Yeah, Derek Stingley is also a really big question mark. Like it's like injury is going to be the thing that is going to be in the way of his career, not his playing ability.
He's the new JC Horn. Yeah. Like obviously very good at what he does, but is just a walking medical red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on brand for your team, Joe, to be honest. That's the kind of guy like I know
it's your favorite game.
Joe and I were having some trade conversations around Derek Stingley Jr. and I couldn't do it. He's just too much of a Joe guy.
Oh boy.
So yeah, sad. TJ Edwards got his first pick of the season. That helped Matt out a little bit, and Nate Hobbs was productive. I don't think I've ever actually watched Nate Hobbs play, but there he was. Gotta love Dynasty with deep benches. There he is, Nate Hobbs.
Dodged an absolute bullet not playing Mr. Glass, too.
Yeah, Mr. Glass would have fucked him.
Even further.
Unfortunately,
Anderson Williams though is like notable for where he started. Like he's actually like part of the team now, and not just some fringe player that could be a bust.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's really come into himself a little bit in the last few games. Detroit's weird because their offense is really streaky, and the touchdowns could go to anyone because the Goffster is delivering. They don't really have anything super consistent.
You don't like Goff.
Other than Amon-Ra gets yards. I don't hate Goff or
Goff had a
fantasy.
nightmare of a game this week. Something was fucking in the water.
Yeah,
Their Gatorade was spiked with acid.
I don't hate him for fantasy, but I think for real football, he's kind of.
I think he's trash. Yeah. I think he's trash. You're not wrong. I'm just like saying I've been saying this forever, and everyone's like, "Oh, but he's okay. I think he's a good football player." No, he's not. He sucks. He's fucking awful. That's why when Skot offered Goff to me, I was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
Hey, I would literally rather play Josh.
That's my backup. Tua goes down. I'm Goff all the way, okay?
Yeah, when Jameis Jr. goes down, I'm putting Goff. I mean, yeah, but you like guys that throw picks, so like,
yeah,
what can I say?
I love me some arm punts. Speaking of arm punts, Drew Lock looks like that kind of guy. He could throw
absolutely an arm punt, dude.
Hell yeah. Let's get them arm punts going.
He's got an arm, man.
Third and long.
He does have an arm, though. I'll agree with that. I mean,
I
saw some passes in those 2 fucking plays.
When Jameis Winston,
that's what he did.
When Jameis Winston or Drew Lock or Tua turn the ball over or 3rd and long, they skip the punt and they skip the commercial break.
They lose the NFL some money.
I really appreciate it.
There it is.
Like, here's the thing I like about Drew Lock, and it's the way when he releases it, it's a perfect spiral, it's a perfect arc, and he lobs it right into where he wants it to go. Now, is it perfectly accurate? Obviously not. We saw him throw a pick, right? He's not Tom Brady. However, if he had more than a couple of series playing with the fucking receivers that we have, he would actually be making plays looking like Russell Wilson.
The catch radius on DK and Lockett
for real
is insane.
DK's gonna fight for the ball. He's gonna make the play happen.
No, absolutely.
Right? And so if you give them reps together, he's going to look way better than he obviously is. But the way he throws it is amazing. You look at the way Geno throws it. He throws it like a fucking spackled wobbler, and it's fucking doing all this shit in the air, and then it might get there, or it might just fall to the ground. Who fucking knows? Like,
all right. I hear what you're saying, and that is honestly the best case anyone has ever made to me for starting Drew Lock over Geno.
Well, you know what I would like to see?
On the catch radius.
You know what I would like to see? I'd like to see Shane Waldron run the ball more and do more like screen plays.
We can't.
It's like
we just lost Ken Walker.
Apparently.
We just lost Ken Walker. Our line can't even fucking keep him healthy for a year.
What do you mean? We have 41-year-old Jason Peters out there. He'll be able to open up holes like fucking Moses.
He's almost 42.
He's not. Look,
42.
He's over the hill.
Whitworth, like. There's only
I just want to see us like draft somebody and move on from this nightmare scenario.
We will. I'm done talking about the Seahawks. That game pissed me off. I'm tired of thinking about it.
You're never done talking about the Seahawks.
No, I wrote a fucking novel this weekend. I'm good. Quentin Johnson was pretty disappointing. He was desperately needed in the Chargers game and just came up short. He had a really, really bad drop. That's 6 losses now for Brandon Staley. They're $42 million over the cap next year, and they're going to have to cut players like Mike Williams and Joey Bosa, who also exited this game with a really scary injury and was crying. So
he's done for the season.
That's fucking rough.
What's confirmed on the injury? Is it an ACL?
Ankle.
Ankle? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, at least it's ankle. Fuck. Dude.
Yeah. I don't know the nature. I don't know the I think they're still doing MRIs and stuff, but it was an ankle.
Yeah, the MRIs results haven't been released.
I mean, it could be a high ankle. That could.
I mean, but it's not like. I mean, but that's. I mean, it's not a ligament damage. Like
high ankles fucking hurt.
Are you sure that's an all year for someone like Joey Bosa? It's not like he's a fucking receiver or a running back.
I mean, it depends.
Unless
high
he fucking
ankles,
broke his fucking ankle,
which is possible. It's possible.
He's likely
I don't know.
To go on IR is what we're seeing from.
He's probably crying because he thought it was a fucking Achilles.
Well,
when he found out it wasn't, he probably just tape up and
high ankles hurt like a bitch. So
he was diagnosed with a foot sprain.
With a what?
A foot sprain.
Yeah, it's
a foot sprain. He's fine. He'll be back. Maybe not for fantasy wise, but he'll be back for playoffs.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean,
it says he's going to go on IR.
The game is better with Joey Bosa in it. Like, hopefully he can make it back to the field before the season's over, and hopefully the Chargers can actually make the playoffs without him. But yeah, that's tough. Garrett Wilson. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
So is that why Khalil Mack did anything? That's because
I mean, probably it was a contributing
because
factor.
Bosa, yeah, exactly. Bosa being out after like the first or second series of the game.
Yeah, okay, that makes more
definitely
sense now.
Contributed to
He had to
Mack,
pick. As a
and,
veteran, he's like, okay, I got to pick up the role.
I got to step up. And Tuipulotu, or I think I got that right. Yeah. Tuipulotu, I think, also really. We've seen him like kind of flash a little bit. In the past.
Someone actually
games,
rostered him for fantasy,
also,
right?
He totally stepped up.
Yeah, he got drafted, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Matt has him.
Josh has him.
Josh has him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
was just picking him up from the waiver wire because Josh was like floundering all over the place trying to put a defense together.
Honestly, it's not a bad pickup because he's a young guy who's producing already. He's putting sacks together and getting decent tackle numbers. Like he's not a set and forget dude yet, but he's a great dude to play matchups with, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
good pickup.
Yep,
he's gonna be around for a long time too. I mean, he's a rookie, so smart dynasty move.
Yeah, Josh is doing a good job picking up players for his defense. I wanted to talk about Garrett Wilson because he was absolute butt cheeks in this game.
I was gonna say why he sucks.
Zach Wilson is the problem.
He also, I saw a report, he is now buried on their depth chart behind
Tim Boyle.
No,
Tim
Boyle.
The Laser Show.
Tim Boyle is their starting quarterback, but Zach Wilson isn't even the backup. It's Trevor Siemian. So he is now third in the pecking order.
No.
Trevor Siemian is still in the league, everybody.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that. Wow. That's new news to me.
Yeah.
Dude, the best thing I heard about this
they
whole
have
situation,
put Zach in the doghouse.
Oh, he deserves it. He lost this game. Like, straight up. He sucks. He's actually painful to watch. Like, it got to the point where I had this sick fascination of watching Jets games just because it was like amazing how bad he was at quarterback. It was like watching someone like Nathan Peterman continue to start every week for 2 years. That's what the Zach Wilson experience has been.
It is just absolutely insane.
And if people don't know who Nathan Peterman is, Nathan Peterman came in as a backup for the Bills many years ago and proceeded to have one of the worst halves of football ever. Go look it up on YouTube. It's so bad.
It is. Yeah, that was.
It was impressive how many picks you can throw. It was like,
every series ended in a pick. I don't think he got a first down.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about arm punts.
Great guy. Like Nathan Peterman's
nice.
Such a nice dude, but like
he's very humble.
He is terrible at football and is a meme because of it. Zach Wilson is worse than that guy.
Dude, the best thing I heard about Tim Boyle is he is like 29, right? He's been in the league a long time as a long-term backup for the Packers.
Yep.
And
no, he wasn't for the Packers for too long. He was, but
whatever, dude.
3 years.
In his college career and combining his college career and his professional career, he has like 13 or 15 touchdowns and 29 interceptions.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
It's
I cannot wait to watch him on primetime on Friday.
Yeah, no, like the Tim Boyle,
not in a good place, man.
Look,
like
very much like Drew Lock, he throws a very pretty ball, but
and we all know how you like pretty balls.
It's the laser show, you know. He throws a very direct ball.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of the lasers, man. I think that quarterbacks that do that are afraid. And so that's why they do that. And they're afraid.
Yeah.
If that's all they throw, yeah. But like that's what was so awesome about watching Tom Brady is that he could throw a fucking dime. He could throw like a rainbow. He could throw a laser.
He could do everything. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Tim Boyle has
one throw. But if you just throw laser beams at people,
actually, like a dude he can make all those throws. He can do all those things.
Yeah.
Like whether or not he's like long-term great is still a question. He's a rookie. But like he at least has all those tools.
Right.
Yeah,
agreed.
Well, I think Matt, you lost because you had floor games from your offense. That's what happened here, bud.
Generally.
That's a tough.
And Ben showed up with like a decent game. Like,
is it
way too late?
It makes you wonder though, is this a toilet bowl
Reenactment.
Well,
yeah, a precursor.
a precursor to the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I hope it's not for your guys' sake. It. If I end up falling out of playoffs, I don't know how that would happen, but I'm coming for your ass.
You'd have to Targus. You'd have to lose 3 in a row.
It's
you
very
have to make
possible. My offense is terrible, so we'll see.
You could. Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, but that's because you stream defensive players every week because you
No, I don't.
do a lot of work. I see you change out defensive players every week. Every week you change out a defensive.
I mean, it bit him this week too. I mean, with Greenlaw and Davis both posting.
No, I've been
because
playing.
Jamal Adams got hurt.
Yeah, Jamal Adams got hurt.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I play the same guy. I play Patrick Queen, Danielle Hunter, Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu every week.
Bro, I see you pick up someone.
Earlier in the season, I was
on
switching
the
Chris
wire.
Jones, and I mean, I'm holding. I'm not playing them. I pick up players off the wire just as speculative ads. That's all I'm doing. I'm not actually playing them.
Yeah, but you're trying to every week change what your defense is doing, which allows you to get more points because you're actually working on your defense more, because you can't work on your offense. Like, there's no way to really work on your offense at this point because our rosters are so big.
Yeah, there's no one to pick up.
Most of the people we play with only know offense, so they just have a fuck ton of these offensive players and weapons sitting on their rosters doing nothing. And
Oh, it's smart because I'm fucked. And Justin Jefferson won't play football. God damn it.
Yeah,
week
I saw
14.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought of you when I read that, and I said,
It is what it is.
Good for.
I would
good for
rather
JJ.
JJ listen to his body and do the veteran
Yeah,
thing and
long
get healthy.
term, you want him to exactly.
oh no, it
you don't
sounds
want
kind
him
of gay
to
to me.
re-injure yourself. You know,
I mean, I definitely don't want him going out
as
there
a dynasty owner.
and playing 8 snaps and then fully tearing his hamstring and then having a Julio Jones situation.
Exactly.
Like, no thanks. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that matchup. Let's take a look at
And Joe and Jordan.
Joe and Jordan. Jordan's team is fucking terrifying.
This
Yeah.
sucks.
He's just
Joe.
impervious to
sucks.
injuries. Again, Jordan is impervious to the injury bug and inflicts it on Joe this week.
Dude. Oh my God.
He just
Oh,
absolutely Logan Wilsoned Joe in this matchup.
Devastating.
Taking out all of his players. Justin Herbert, dead. Isaiah Pacheco, gone for the season. Jahmyr Gibbs, freak boating accident. Anyway, you actually did lose a lot of players, Joe.
But like, what is up with that?
Is-
Jordan?
wait,
You
is
paying- you
Pacheco
paying
actually out for the
people?
season?
What's
Oh, Jordan's absolutely paying these guys off for sure.
what's happening here?
He's
but
His
seriously,
bank account, like in the world. we just don't
he's
know.
taking loans out of the money he's going to win from playing fantasy to give him PRP injections.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
He's sending them directly to Christian McCaffrey. Like, yo,
It's like, yeah, I know you've had some problems with soft tissue injuries, but how would you like to never have them again?
here's all the roids in PRP.
yeah, fucking Aaron Jones.
He
Yeah, okay, so who did you lose, Joe? So who all did you? What's
Mark Andrews and Aaron Jones are gone. I mean,
Gone.
Mark Andrews had surgery today, so he's gone for the rest of
Aaron
the
Jones has a
Logan Wilson
knee
broke his
sprain
leg.
and is week to week.
Yeah.
so?
Well, it broke his ankle. It's
So
an
I
ankle.
wanted to talk, since we're on Joe's matchup, I wanted to have a conversation about the hip drop tackle because that's kind of been the topic of conversation this week. It's like the NFL keeps changing the rules to make it more difficult to play defense. But like when you watch the play where Mark Andrews gets injured, you think, what is Logan Wilson supposed to do to stop somebody from running in that? Because like basically he comes from an odd angle and tackles him from the side, like from the side of his kidney almost. And he pulls him down in the hip drop style and basically traps his leg underneath him and then lands on top of it and breaks his leg. And people were talking like, this is the next, like, fuck the tush push. This is what needs to be banned from play. That should be a penalty, just like the horse collar tackle.
But like, how are you gonna ban something
The only way you can
that is happening in the moment that fast, like
Yeah,
that?
and in the
You
moment,
can't-
it
the only
didn't
way
look
you
bad.
can the only way you could like
just
even get around it is like you have to coach like tackling like from the weird you have to come at like direct angles, like at right angles all the time, which is just not going to work for how
It's not gonna
leverage
happen.
works
That's
in the
not how.
game.
That's not
Like
how
it's just
fucking
never going to
life
happen.
works.
That's
Right,
what
no,
I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like I figured you guys
and
would
it's
be
like,
aligned on this because like I don't think it makes sense to ban the hip drop. Like you can't.
I
That's
don't
just
think it's possible.
what. How are they supposed to tackle people then if they keep taking away
Yeah, do we
techniques?
just let them run everywhere they want and
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
do whatever
like
the fuck they want?
you,
Like fuck off. Like,
do you want them to like tackle through them forward for extra yardage on every play? Like, no, the whole point is to defend against that.
I mean, also the whole discussion of the hip drop is based out of the rules committee in the off season talking about banning it, and they didn't, and that's why it's a topic of conversation. Is because we've seen at various times different hip drops happen and either lead to injuries or almost lead to injuries, and like it comes up because the rules committee had like didn't ban it, and like it's just a thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, watch the play again. Like, what do you expect him to do in that
in the
situation?
Moment of like, it didn't look bad.
No.
It was only after.
No, it was a normal.
So I have no
ass
idea
NFL
how you're
tackle.
supposed to like know how to do it better, because like there's a difference between like the horse collar, where it's like obvious, where you can like tackle better.
You're
but
like, yeah,
I just don't know. Like if some physics professor can tell me, like, go ahead.
I mean, the whole thing with the horse collar is that it eliminating the horse collar from the game eliminated so much more incidental head and neck area contact.
Well, that and knees, because like when you horse collar tackle somebody,
like
you can't brace yourself, so it increased the opportunity for someone's knees to buckle in ways that are unnatural and to tear ligaments and stuff. I'm okay with the horse collar tackle being out of the game. That's fine.
I think that's reasonable.
That's a dirty tackle in the beginning.
Yeah, it's like because
you're just lazy and you missed the tackle, and so now you're going for his neck. Like fuck off. Like
yeah.
I mean,
I've always thought that was a dirty tackle.
Yeah,
in the case of the hip drop, we're talking about someone wrapping up and then taking themselves to the ground as a way to build momentum to bring the guy that they've wrapped up to the ground. How is that different from a tackle? How can you enforce that, separately? Just because of like an angle of attack? Like
it is an angle of attack thing because the rugby style like wrap is essentially the same thing, just falling differently.
Right.
Like so I just don't know how you like I mean again, I don't know how you teach that to be different. Like I just don't have an answer.
I mean,
you
it's
can't.
Part of the body control thing, I guess, but like even then, I mean I don't think that rugby's a decent comparison,
so again,
but it also isn't padded.
Well, going back to the actual play,
are different.
Mark Andrews is running forward towards the goal line. Like it's going to be a touchdown if Logan Wilson doesn't tackle him.
Right.
If he tackles him and he falls forward, he's giving him like 3 yards. So he's pulling him back.
Might get the touchdown if he reaches out too.
Yeah. Right. It was that close. Right. Like it's like, what do you expect Logan Wilson? People are talking about how Logan Wilson's a dirty player and this and that, and it's like, no, he's aggressive, but he's tackling. He's doing his job, and he did a really good job of it. It's unfortunate he ended up injuring 3 players in this game, but that's football.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, welcome to the league.
Did we forget who Lawrence Taylor was? Like, the game is fucking brutal.
Who fucking Lewis was?
Right.
Yeah,
they murdered a man.
Kidding.
In real life, actually murdered him.
Yeah.
Just because Baltimore's getting a taste. I don't know.
And he sat outside before the draft of a house where his friend murdered a dude.
Yeah.
Pre-draft, people are like, "Oh my God, Jalen Carter was involved in street racing where someone died." It's like Ray Lewis sat outside a house and played watchdog for his friend murdering a dude.
Yep.
Pre-draft.
Yep. Some crazy shit.
It's like people forget shit so easily, and want to it's all about the right. What have you done for me lately? Same sort of concept where it's like if it happens right now.
That's
it's on
so
their
the
minds.
league too,
right?
Yeah,
even the who's hot, who's not is all about what have you done for me lately. Watch the Packers jump up 6 positions in the power rankings because they beat the Chargers. It's no,
people are really reactionary,
guys.
Yeah, that's true. That leading into the Packers though, Aaron Jones seems to have missed a actual serious injury.
I think he just needs to be done for
Yeah.
the season at this point. Like, just take him out.
He
Try
should be
again
done.
next year.
Packers aren't winning shit. Like,
Yeah, no, exactly. I think
let him recover.
Aaron Jones has like maybe 1 or 2 more good years in him too. Like he's 30.
he's definitely in the
they
car
should
range.
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the right call. Is to like send him back to IR. But I think he's gonna want to play.
Oh, of course.
He definitely won't.
He's a
play
dog.
Thursday.
Like Aaron Jones is a dog, so he's gonna want to be out there if he can.
I could see Aaron Jones coming back for the Kansas City game. I could see him wanting to do that in particular.
It's a tough break, though. I mean, Joe's team was absolutely hammered by injuries this week.
And I got also hit by the Joe Burrow injury. So Tyler Boyd just like did nothing after starting super hot.
Completely.
Yeah,
right,
Jamar
exactly.
Chase, T. Higgins owners,
injury.
you guys are stuck.
I mean, and then like I didn't play him because obviously Deshaun Watson injury, and they went with DTR, who had a nightmare game his first game, and like was going against Pittsburgh. Like TJ Watt, like didn't he kill him or something? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Calvin Ridley finally did something for you, though. I mean, he absolutely abused a Kevin Byard-less secondary, and we saw what happened when Kevin Byard plays football. It was on full display on Monday. So, yeah, he's damn good.
To Calvin Ridley, I've never had a player where where the general consensus is of like, do not play this guy. And it was like the most obvious thing you should do is just play him.
Right.
Like, it's the Titans, they're bad. Like,
play Ridley.
Zay Jones came back. So there's 2 guys going downfield in like instead of 1.
Zay Jones randomly played, right? He just like was active for the game and then he went crazy, which is what happened earlier in the season when he went. The one other good game he had was when Zay Jones was playing. It's like, is Zay Jones that much of a safety valve for Calvin Ridley to get work done?
No, it's not that really. So like what happened basically this time, because like it's the general thing in the NFL of like you do need 2 receivers, like actual receivers, like downfield threats to make one good. It's that. But then the other thing is
Zay Jones is also good at football. He's a good player, even though he was fucking arrested for domestic abuse and was like in an orange jumpsuit on Saturday.
Yeah, he's not a good dude. Yeah, that's fair. But it's also the combination of they changed his route tree a bit to actually like accentuate his like, oh, he's an athletic dude who can run, who's an elite route runner. We could use that instead of whatever the fuck Doug Peterson was doing before. And then Jamal Agnew was out, and so everybody could key in on Christian Kirk, which then opens up everybody else.
Makes
sense.
So
like
that, and
it's a perfect storm of all the stuff.
We kind of saw the regression to the mean here, positive regression, if you will, for the Jaguars offense. Because like I watched games where they should have gone crazy, but it's just like super fluky shit was happening with toe taps out of bounds and drops and other shit in the end zone. Like at red zone situations where they would be putting up lots of points is just like, well, that's awkward. They just didn't get the toes down sort of thing. So.
And it's late enough in the season where it's like Calvin Ridley's knocked off all the rust. Like Trevor Lawrence has gotten healthier.
Right.
Like everybody's played together enough. They've figured out like the smaller things that make a difference. And like, they're a good team. So none of it's come to the surface because like, winning cures all. So,
So to talk about that Seahawks game again for just a minute, Devon Witherspoon suplexed a man, which was fucking hype, but you can't do that.
That was so cool. And I know it's like a 15-yard penalty, but it shouldn't be. Like, that shit's so much fun.
It's so dangerous. One of my favorite plays. I'm okay. It makes sense why suplexing a motherfucker is a penalty. Like, I watched Derwin James do it to Travis Kelsey, which was impressive as hell. But like, that's a penalty.
Like every time. It was like Texans era, like early Cardinals D-Hop. Like once a year this would happen. He would someone would pick off a pass from him. He would then run down the DB and suplex them. It's great. It's always super impressive because he's going the wrong way. He pivots and runs him down. Doesn't matter who it is,
That's
and he
sick.
just like then suplexes him. It was the greatest thing ever. It was just like, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, 15 yards and totally makes sense.
Yeah, Witherspoon had made impact in this game, and right after that suplex, where they got the 15-yard, like he made the play, 15-yard penalty, but it was on a 3rd down, so it was like, come on, Devin, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know you don't do that. Tariq Woolen got the 2nd interception of the season right after that play.
And right after that got a PI.
And then right after that got the PI. That was brutal. But yeah.
But
you had a really good week, Joe.
Yeah, I know I did.
But you just got absolutely waxed by Jordan.
Yeah, I got absolutely waxed. Yeah. Sexy Dexy came through with 2 pass defenses against Sam Howell.
And McDuffie.
Really good. Dude, Trent McDuffie is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anytime a DB is matching Chris Jones for sack numbers, like in a game, like good for you, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say one thing though is man, that KC defense absolutely would not let AJ Brown get open. They played press man every snap and had a linebacker or safety over or underneath.
It was very clear they wanted AJ Brown to not be the reason they lost the game, and ultimately the reason they lost the game is because Kansas City has no fucking receivers. Again, just like the Lions lost earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Like,
although speaking of the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery putting up close to 20 points each. Like,
yeah, their rush game is
when
crazy.
Your QB is Jared Goff.
Yep,
that is true.
But I mean, it's not like Amon-Ra
check down
Brown
king
is
Jared Goff.
A slouch on the other side.
Amon-Ra went off too. He had 20 points this game.
20 points as well.
Yeah, speaking of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and let's just look at Jordan's fucking lines here. This is just disgusting. Like,
dude, Justin Herbert just fucking fed Keenan Allen, and it was the toughest thing to watch those numbers go up because with 4
point touchdowns and then the half point PPR plus first down half points, like basically it's full point PPR because Keenan Allen's just the check down master. Like he just plays over the middle of the field and just eats.
Yeah.
Like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So it's like every single time Herbie's throwing the ball, it's like Keenan Allen's getting, they're like, fuck yeah. They're being like, yeah, Justin Herbert. But then it's like Keenan Allen. And you're just getting cooked. So all the ground, like I know that feeling. It's like all the ground that you're making with your guy getting points, the guy on the other side's getting more points. And it's like, fuck, stop throwing it to him. Where's QJ? Like this is his time to shine. But it's like, nope, Keenan Allen.
Nope, Keenan Allen game.
I think one of the biggest problems, just in general with like the Chargers, is the injuries, but also like whoever's running their fucking front office. Like the biggest problem with like their draft is they passed on both Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison for the guy who had known drop problems. Like that was the big thing coming out of the draft was he can't catch the fucking ball. Like,
right, and it's easy after seeing how he's played this year to judge people on that. But maybe they saw something in his pro day where they were like, maybe he'll. Sometimes players perform better when they get to the NFL. Sometimes they perform worse. Sometimes they don't change. But you don't like. You
Look at
can't,
Bobo. Look at Bobo. That dude had an awful fucking combine, and it's the reason he was undrafted.
Nobody.
His tape is really good.
Yeah,
his tape is really good.
Yeah.
Like Bobo's tape is great. Like, and that's the thing about like QJ is not that his tape is bad because it's pretty good, and his contested catchability in college was pretty good. His TCU tape, pretty good. It's just like when people get mad about the drops, it's like why? Like you should expect that. That was the whole thing. Like that's what he needs to work on. Like that is the expected thing that everybody knew.
So here's the thing. Mike Williams is probably gone at the end of the season in free agency because of their cap situation. Like I said earlier, they're $42 million over the cap right now. They're going to need to be clearing up a shit ton of cap space to be able to do anything in free agency and to sign the guys that they have that are on expiring contracts. He's the future, for better or for worse.
The Chargers are coming into the season $48 million over
42
cap.
million.
42 over the cap.
42 million over the cap right now. They're gonna have to be doing a lot of restructuring
And the cap
cutting.
is going up next year. What the fuck are they doing?
They were all in last season. I don't know if you remember, but they were one of the favorites, like a dark horse to win the Super Bowl last year.
But
like Austin Eckler had 20 touchdowns last. That's insane. Or
no, I know.
No, was it 20?
But
he had a lot of touchdowns, and they had Keenan Allen, they had Mike Williams. Justin Herbert was playing at. He was kind of in that MVP conversation. Like he was playing super well, and then they just shit the bed.
Well, also like he had the cartilage thing and had to wear a flak jacket for like 6 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, it's the Chargers. They can't like not get injured.
That's what they do.
Chargers gonna charger.
Yeah. I mean, on to the rest of like.
Yeah. So DeAndre Swift is crazy. Alex Anzalone is crazy.
Really
Max Crosby is probably one of the best picks that Jordan made in the startup draft. Jalen Ramsey had 2 fucking picks. Like he's been gone all season because of injury.
And just walked in.
And just walks in and gets 2 picks. He looks like prime, like he never stopped playing football. Like let's not forget that Jalen Ramsey was in the past one of the elite, like top 10 players in the game. Overall,
way up there.
So
I mean, even last season, he was not like he was an All-Pro contender, Pro Bowl guy. Yeah. He was not bad last season.
Yeah, no, it's true. He had a little regression, but not terrible.
But yeah, for the duds for Jordan, I wrote literally nobody. I don't care because Jordan had nobody that played bad. He's just fucking
mostly
shit on you, Joe.
The lone Jet on his roster.
Who fucking cares about a random Jet not getting 2 points? Like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's only because it's his linebacker. I would get salty about it, but
I mean, linebacker is like the premium position where you usually get all your points. So, I mean, God
it
damn.
is what it is.
Jordan had such a good week, but like he still would have lost to Trevor. That's how crazy this week was for you two. It's like just be glad you didn't play him, because like I think if you played anybody else other than Trevor, Joe, you would have won.
Yeah, no, I was 3rd in points.
Yep,
which is like
you would have beat anybody else, even Kelsey, who had a really good game this week. Just
that's like the entire.
Nothing.
That's my entire season. Is like if
that's your entire career in fantasy. Let's not forget. This is very on brand for you to just lose a shit ton of key players to injury, score a fuck ton of points, and then lose.
Yeah, and have a losing record.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is like the most like on brand season that I think I've ever had.
The 6th seed for you is just like an apple waiting to be plucked at this moment.
If I keep making points,
at least you know that you will be in the playoffs. Like it's just like I don't see a world where
you have a path. You are taking the Nile route.
You are not going to Seattle Mariners your way out of this one, Joe.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't.
That is not confirmed yet.
Whoa! That's my MO. You can't be taking that away from me.
Yeah.
Dude, you've locked in your playoff thing. You can't not.
Yeah. We'll see.
Look.
I'll find a way.
Joe's whole bullshit is the only reason I have playoff hopes at this point. Like, so many things had to go a particular way in order for me to have even the slightest chance at the playoffs, and they've all been happening. So I think I'm destined for that number 5 seed.
Next time on Dragon Ball Steve, will he make the playoffs?
No,
he
won't.
Yeah, no.
Dude, you just Ocho Cinco'd yourself, man. That's what just happened right
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put on the gold jacket and fucked up, bro.
Speaking of...
Dude, I'm so glad I know that story now. I had no idea. That shit's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so troll, bro.
Speaking of Steve...
Yeah, I saw that you have me up here. So
yeah, you beat Josh.
I beat Josh.
Who is desperately trying to make his way into the playoffs. But he's looking like he's going to be a favorite for the toilet bowl. We'll see.
Yeah, Josh has.
You might meet him in the toilet bowl, and he might be very angry at you, Steve, because of this week.
Yeah, I dealt him his elimination this week.
Are you going to declare him your rival, or?
No.
I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, no, I'll leave that to him. But yeah, just so you know, this is the elimination blow. Suck it.
Damn. Them some fighting words, Steve. That's feisty.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm coming with heat.
No, the spice. We got to
You
get
know
the
what?
spice.
Like,
He's coming in with
For some
Mush
reason-
Allen, mushing all over the place, throwing
mushing all over
interceptions.
the place, mushrooming it.
He didn't fumble though.
He did not fumble.
He did
No,
not
but he got
fumble.
the int, but he got the int.
He got the int, which is
He
all
did
you
get
can
the
hope
int.
for.
He's Josh Allen. He's gonna get you one of those.
He actually hasn't been fumbling a lot this season. I seem to remember. It's just you remember when the good players fumble.
Yeah.
But he's actually been pretty good with
he did
that.
fumble in the last game, and when I say fumble, he like threw the ball into James Cook's chest, and yeah, that was weird.
He has 2 games without an interception.
That's wild.
That's
Against
fucked.
who?
Against Vegas and Miami.
Oh,
and
that's weird.
He shit on Miami. That's the week he went fucking crazy against me. 41 points. I won't forget it. He threw 4 touchdowns.
Just hope that the firing of Ken Dorsey plays out the exact same way for the Steelers and whoever's their new OC, because like they fucking killed the Jets.
Yeah, they absolutely devastated them. And the lone Jets touchdown was scored by my guy Brees. So
Brees Lightning.
Yeah, so Brees Lightning, it showed up, and
that game was fucking unwatchable. Like I watched it and it was unwatchable. It was so bad.
Yeah, no, it was so bad. But yeah, Brees got the 1 tud for the Jets. They missed the extra point because Greg the Leg. Shout out to you there, Targus, and your last season hopes. Yeah.
Ken Dorsey gave us this gif, and I'm so thankful for him.
Ken Dorsey will forever be for this gif. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Ken Dorsey, for your service.
Will be a real one. The Gus bus has finally started rolling. Jaden Reed is still Green Bay's best wide receiver. Romeo got a garbage time, or I guess he wasn't quite the garbage time touchdown. He got the game-sealing touchdown.
So real quick on that, Jaden Reed.
It felt like it.
The opposite of garbage time.
I wanted to point out that Jaden Reed touchdown was actually really cool design.
It was sick.
The tight end Musgrave was blocking for him, and it was like this end around play.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. But unfortunately, it sounds like Musgrave has a serious injury. He was in the hospital today. So his status is up in the air. Yeah, he ended up getting hurt.
Unrelieved why he was in there.
Apparently he got a serious injury that required hospitalization, and he didn't say anything during the game or anything. He's just like football man, just like fuck it, like my shit's sideways, torn ligaments. I don't care. I'm playing this fucking game. Like let's go.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
Musgrave,
I did not realize that when I tried to trade him today.
Luke Musgrave is
I don't think it even shows in Sleeper yet that he's hurt.
No.
Yeah, but apparently he was in the hospital.
He's not on my roster. So
Luke Musgrave is a championship level or a world champion skier, and
really
has suffered major injuries throughout his college career. Still plays in the NFL, still comes back, and I think that dude's pretty tough.
Yeah, look at Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's kind of similar. Yeah, I mean that gnarly injury he had this season, that same thing happened to that same leg in college. Some people they're just built different.
Bad reporting by Scheffner. He did get both the ACL and the MCL. That was just bad reporting.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that it was a bad knee ligament injury, but I think it was more of a concern about it being a complete dislocation, which would be a career ender. I don't care who you are. A full dislocation of your knee, you're limping for the rest of your life.
I mean, that's what happened to Joe Burrow.
That's not true. That's what happened to me. And what they have to do is it's called the lateral release. And I kind of limp.
Yeah, you're pretty gimped up, Trevor.
My knee on that side is stronger than my other knee.
Yeah, you got to compensate for it.
But what I'm saying
is the
surgeries have come so far that I doubt
it's a lot
that he has
better
too much of a problem.
Apparently, he did.
That's what Joe Burrow got in his rookie year, and look at what Joe Burrow is now. The next year he went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah,
Sacked by Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I mean, the NFL is rife with in like the modern NFL is rife with cases where people have ACL tears or ligament damage or whatever, and then they come back and look better than they ever have. Like modern sports medicine is incredible. And in fact, in a lot of cases, like the surgery that you're doing makes your leg even stronger because of what they're doing. So, yeah.
Again, it just takes 18 months.
I'm a full believer in it. Yeah, it does take longer to heal, but
I just want Nick Chubb to be back. The NFL is better with Nick Chubb in it because he's one of the only people who scores touchdowns. So, you know.
Why? So you can get Nick Chubb? Is that why you like want?
I would rather be Nick Chubb than watch Zach Wilson. Okay?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Or watch fucking Darrell Henderson run for 2 yards and fall over.
Whoa, hey, whoa! Don't be hating on Steve's trigger word. He
got cut.
The game over the
he got cut today. Yeah, no,
Steve's trigger word got cut today. Yeah,
no way.
He got cut.
He got cut for Royce Freeman.
He had such a good performance.
No, it's because Kyron Williams came back from IR and they needed to free up roster space.
He did get.
He'll be back though.
Royce
He's
Freeman
just chilling on the practice squad when Kyron Williams runs out and shuffle, fall down, tear your ACL. He'll be back
if he makes it through waivers because they'll sign him tomorrow.
No,
Steve, nobody is going to claim Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, they will.
No,
that's probably
100%.
true.
He's just going to go back to the practice squad. It'll be
someone will sign him.
Yeah, like the Vikings.
As I say, Buffalo. Vikings.
No, Buffalo signed Lenny. They're good.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They want to use
the Vikings for sure.
They're gassing them up for the playoffs. They're like putting oil in the tank.
Vikings love leftover Rams.
Are about to give them a bag for no reason.
They're gonna slurp them up.
Yeah, we just got your Cam Akers. Can we get that one? Is that one broken yet? We'll take it.
Yeah, the real question is Steve's Shaq Leonard is going to get picked up.
I did see that he got cut this week, or today actually he got cut.
Yeah, that's a
surprising one, but it's also clearly tactical because teams can't claim them until later, right? Like it's like January, right?
Well, no, he has to go through waivers. He can get picked up.
Someone could sign Shaquille Leonard somewhere.
Yeah, he could get signed.
You know,
and
he's still in. I mean, he's like what, 2 seasons removed from All Pro. He just plays in fucking Indy. Like,
he had a back injury, man. That's like.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
still,
and I don't like. I mean, back injuries affect everybody in sports. Like,
but especially
Joe. I think the problem is that he plays for the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts are really part of the problem here.
Yeah. I mean, the Colts are just like, I don't know what's wrong with them, but there's something wrong.
It's ownership.
Ownership.
Their owner is a literal crackhead. Like, he's an actual fucking drug addict.
Oh, he's still doing drugs?
Dude's well, not anymore.
Probably.
You never know with people like that.
Billionaires,
man.
He is.
What do you fucking mean?
Yeah, he's just
smoking. He's a billionaire. Like, you can
anyway, back to my matchup here.
Back to the crack cocaine.
Back to the crack cocaine. Micah Parsons did shit this week after goose-egging me last week. He was hyped this week after being extremely overhyped last week. Will Anderson came in with a sack. That was nice. Foye had a whole sack earlier in the game, got demoted to a half sack. Still was a game wrecker, an absolute game wrecker with the fumble recovery.
Dude's so fun to watch. I love Locon.
Keyshawn Nixon came in with some of his best returns of the year. That was nice. Putra underperformed. My non-Green Bay wide receivers and tight ends just did jack shit.
Steve, you played Darius Davis. Well,
I was down bad.
Explain how down bad you were that you had to play Darius Davis. I didn't even know who this guy. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
He's the Chargers punt returner.
Okay, that is a dynasty ass play.
You know, like that is a dynasty ass play. So
you had Old Dell. Why didn't you play Old Dell?
I
didn't believe.
Did not believe in Odell Beckham Jr. And
you could probably trade him to Josh for a 2026 fifth.
No, he's worth more than that. But
those are worth gold, from what I'm told.
On Thursday, I picked up Trenton Irwin to replace T, or like Wednesday, and then I thought, I don't really want to play Trenton Irwin, even after he went off kind of last week, and I did have OBJ in my lineup a few times throughout the week, and then had him out on Thursday and didn't get to slot him back in before the game started because of my work schedule, and I fucked up. So
I mean, you still won the
OBJ
week. It
locked
really
on my
didn't matter.
bench.
But real
That's true.
talk,
No.
when Jake Pot Browning came in and was just throwing dimes at fucking Trent Irwin over and over, I was cracking up. I was like, yo, is this future Hall of Famer Trent Irwin we're watching?
Yeah, Trent Irwin, yeah.
That was a sad day for my Tyler Boyd play.
Trevor probably remembers old Jake.
Of course.
The most mysterious man in football.
Oh boy.
There's so many of those though.
Washington legend.
I was about to say, he was the UW quarterback, right?
Yeah, he had like the
Jake
greatest
Browning?
greatest season of all
awful.
time. Greatest season of all time.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
He had so many good weapons around him. He actually looked decent.
Go look
but
at
he
his
was
stats. It's
Fucking
hilarious.
trash.
So the opposite of Michael Penix is what you're saying.
Yeah. He's like he wishes he was Michael Penix.
Dude, I really hope
Anyway.
that Michael Penix doesn't fall out of day one. That dude deserves to go day one.
Here's the problem. Michael Penix is me when it comes to injuries, and so
He's
no
been
team
injured a
wants
lot.
to touch him.
I think hasn't he torn both of his ACLs already?
Both ACLs multiple times. He
Oof.
has
3 ACL
like
injuries.
he has a shoulder injury. I think he
Walking
tore,
medical red flag.
he's literally the biggest red flag in the world.
He's so good, he'll probably go like late.
Late
like,
first.
Late.
Like
late
in the
second.
range the Seahawks will probably pick him, sort of thing.
I mean, he's so good, he might go in the first, but
I wouldn't complain. Like even with the injuries, like I don't know.
Realistically, it's like late second, honestly, with his injuries. I mean, Trevor's not wrong. Like, his injury history is fucking crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
That man's also built different, so we'll see.
I hope he makes it makes it into day one, honestly.
I do too, but the thing is, I don't want him, and Seattle's gonna want him, and that's the problem for me. Is that I as much as I like,
You just know he's gonna fall over.
I
break.
hope he fucking wins the national championship this year with UW for my dogs, and fucking takes us all the way. And I hope he gets paid in the NFL. But I don't want to be stuck with him on the Seahawks for the next 12 years, fucking breaking his knees, looking like what was his name? RG3. You know?
Oh yeah.
He's an RG3 type where he just fucking dies immediately.
Roethlisberger, just playing.
No, because
injured
Roethlisberger.
constantly.
I would take a
fucking years.
Roethlisberger
I would
minus
take a
the rape,
Roethlisberger.
but yes, I
Yeah,
would love to have
a
Roethlisberger.
rape-free Roethly, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Even though he's a
Like,
puke.
I mean, I'd much rather have like Daniels out of LSU or Bo Nix, given where we're probably going to be drafting.
Next season's draft,
Fuck yeah,
assuming all these players declare, is going to be insane. Like the 2024 quarterback draft will probably set the tone of the NFL. It will be one of those like either it'll be like the Zach Wilson draft where it was like all those really good quarterbacks were huge busts, or it's going to be like, wow, the 2024 quarterback draft defined the NFL for the next decade. We'll see. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shador and Ewers go back though. I don't think they.
Yeah, probably
Shador is
yours.
definitely not declaring.
But yeah, no, there's going to be like, I mean, it's McCarthy, Nix, Penix, Daniels,
yeah.
and then the two May and Williams. But other than that, like,
That's a lot
I mean,
of
that's
fucking
still a lot.
quarterbacks. That's more than we've had. Like
I mean, that's like what, 6?
5,
7?
2021, Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback picked in the first round.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about potentially like 5, 6 quarterbacks being available. It's crazy. I'm excited for it because the quarterback situation in the NFL is fucking atrocious.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And we need some guys like, come on,
Like, there's a lot of mediocre guys.
But you know who's
Dorian
not
Thompson
fucking
Robinson,
atrocious?
like
Is CJ Stroud. Getting
yeah,
back to this matchup, who fucking had a great game
Well,
fight the 3 pick.
Except
no.
for
He
one carry for
He
minus
showed
1
he was
yard.
mortal and still won the game.
Yeah.
He had a
that's true.
rookie. He had a
That's true.
rookie day.
He had a rookie game,
but he elevated.
The 3 interceptions did not help.
He elevated his team. He's in a situation where his friend is like he's developing that kind of like Pat Mahomes,
Tank
Travis
Dell is
Kelsey,
100% there.
Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown kind of connection. Kirk Cousins,
why you
Justin
need the
Jefferson, like
quarterback.
him and Tank Dell are going to be a thing. And if Kelsey
that's
still has
why
Tank
you
Dell
have-
on her practice squad or taxi squad, she needs to get him the fuck off of it and start playing him because Tank Dell is
kidding.
going to be legit, and already is legit.
Tank
Yeah.
Dell, like, after the Seahawks took JSN, he was the guy that he went to Caserio and was like, please draft him. And they did, which is just, please listen to your quarterback when they ask. Like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe it'll work out.
Well, we saw how that worked with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pat Mahomes. Sometimes that doesn't work.
Doesn't work every time.
Yeah.
Well, also, like,
For a
that's a running
receiver,
back.
it's a better idea than a running back.
Look at Devontae Adams. That didn't work.
Yep.
Well,
Well, I mean,
You mean
yeah,
car?
I mean, I'm
just
spitting
get a
here,
car.
yeah.
It doesn't
It is
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Anyway,
CJ Stroud has to be good for that to work, and it worked. So
Pollard, Warren, Moore all did great. They had kind of boom games.
dude, the
Christian
Panthers
Kirk
are so
fell
down
off.
bad trading DJ Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, stupid move. Stupid fucking move.
Like Bryce Young is like we will probably never know who he is just because of the situation he's in.
Yeah.
the second Darrell Henderson is did all right. Had a pretty good game for a tight end, but below his own projected. Jacoby Myers didn't show up. Dalton Schultz had a decent game. Bynum did all right, floor game basically for him.
Bynum, that's a good pickup. I was kind of
Bynum's
looking at
good.
Bynum
Great
for the past
pickup.
couple weeks, but it's
me
like since
too.
I have Danielle Hunter, I was like, do I need this much
Yeah,
Vikings defense?
Yeah.
Because like they're not that good, But like
No.
Cam Bynum is legit. I like Cam Bynum.
Yep,
Good
he's
player.
great.
Yeah,
He's a good
Also-
player. Great for
also-
fantasy.
Madubuike, his fucking sack streak continues, and Deron Bland ties an NFL record with 4 pick sixes in a season, jumping a route on Bryce Young.
Yep.
Yep.
Bland is great.
Deron Bland is on a fucking tear, and
I
is
was
probably
so
having the best
jazzed.
career, the best season he will ever have.
Well, and
That's
think about
probably
it because he's opposite of Stephon Gilmore, so like he's got that like
Yeah, he has the backup.
he's getting the extra targets.
Dude, next
People don't
year,
want to throw
when,
at Stephon.
dude,
Anyway.
when next year, when it's Deron Bland, Stephon Gilmore, if he's still there, and Trayvon
Diggs.
Diggs, dude, that's a scary DB group.
Well, they have Donovan Wilson too, who's not like he's good as an actual corner. Like he
Yeah,
covers people really well, and
Yeah.
when they use him, he almost got a sack in this game too. Donovan Wilson did. Like
Yeah.
I had to drop him for fantasy because he's just been so fucking dog shit. But
Yeah,
he's an actual
he's-
good real life
He's
NFL
a
player.
good real life player.
Yeah, Deron Bland
that sort
though
of-
is
That
doing
He's
some
having
shit.
a-
If he gets one
Shouldn't have
again,
been
one
on your
more
fucking
pick six,
bench.
one more pick
it's an
six,
NFL record. Yeah,
one more pick six, and he has an NFL record. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah.
right.
That's
And
huge.
honestly, there's an opportunity for him to come off the bench because Hufanga went to IR.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's done.
That really sucks.
He is done for the
ACL's
season.
here.
Sucks for San Francisco. Sucks for the NFL. It's more fun with Hufanga.
It doesn't suck for the Seahawks or the
Um,
Cardinals or
thank
the
No,
Niners.
the
Like-
rest of the NFC
The
West.
The NFC West is like, Whew, get better
Yeah.
soon. See you next year, please.
Love you, buddy.
Looks like AJ Dillon's going to be Green Bay's RB1 moving forward, so that's something.
Stinky cheese, Steve.
The Stinky Cheese is going to be
He
up
couldn't-
and about, and a lot of points on the bench. So, oops.
Yeah, Jordan Poyer was invisible, and he just kind of got floor games from his offensive guys this week, which
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Sucks.
I think our offenses actually matched up pretty well, tit for tat.
Yeah, actually,
you
yeah.
know,
I mean,
the
floor
difference
performances from like Christian
in-
Kirk and Jacoby Myers
But
is
that's Darius Davis and Tutu Atwell,
Yeah, that's true. Tutu Atwell was poo-poo Shotwell in this game.
Yeah, poo-poo Shotwell.
You're such a hater, bro. He's
he didn't
Tutu
steal
the
a
fucking
touchdown
touchdown stealer. That's literally all
he didn't steal a touchdown, so he got 3 points.
He did his best.
He did his best. He tried. He should have gotten one of those receptions or 2 of those other receptions.
He drew a PI that was really bad on his part.
Oof.
Still,
anyway,
Seahawks pissed out. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that game.
The point is that the difference here really came through like Micah Parsons, Will Anderson, Keyshawn Nixon, Foye. My defense just totally outperforming his. Because the offense.
Will Anderson is going to be such a good player for such a long time.
He's just getting better and better.
The Texans are a really fucking good team. All of a sudden, after 2 seasons of being in the Shadow Realm and getting rid of Bill O'Brien, and I think they did.
Gave away.
They did Lovie Smith a disservice.
So much shit for trading up for Will Anderson in the draft. Like, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Take that swing.
When they did that, though, that was really hype. That was like the most hype thing that happened during the draft.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit.
I was so pissed.
Because people were saying, oh, are the Seahawks going to get Will Anderson there? Because they're definitely going to pick him if he's there. And then they traded up and they got both. They got CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. It's like 2 cornerstone players on both sides of the ball. And it's like, that is how you turn a franchise around. That's how you do it. It's like when Cincinnati drafted Joe Burrow.
It's just too bad they couldn't do it while they had TJ Watt. Because they would be a fucking force to be reckoned with. If they
and prime Jadeveon Clowney. that was a thing. TJ Watt and Jadeveon Clowney in his prime were on the same defense. And that's when Deshaun Watson was in his prime. Like that team was, and they had D-Hop. That team was so fucking good.
That was when
they had Will Fuller running
jacking off on girls' backs.
Yeah.
Well, it was the one that was consenting. He got the consenting one who then shuttered up their business during COVID. And then he went off and thought that was okay to do to normal people.
I thought that was a normal thing.
Yeah, he's just his brain is like CTE. Like he's fucked.
CTE do go hard.
He's fucked.
Yeah. He is fucked.
Yeah.
Well, we got one last one.
Yep. All right, Danny.
Danny and John.
We really appreciate the art that you did.
So good.
Yeah, you get the premiere. You get the primetime podcast discussion point.
I'm sorry about your team though.
Yeah, this does suck.
Like so you and Joe could start a support group about injuries because Cooper Kupp just can't get right this season.
Devon Achane, man, I'm sorry about your small boy, but like he's small.
He did the Simpsons meme where he's like comes in, hello everybody, and then turns around and left. That is what happened in this game.
Hats on, hats off.
Straight up.
I'm back and later. Yeah. That pretty much fucked him. Like right there. Like that's it. Is Cooper Kupp
losing both.
The rest
gone. Devon Achane. I think Devon Achane will be back for playoffs. But like fantasy playoffs, he'll be back. Like that. Clearly, he shouldn't have come back on that knee just yet. He just needed a little bit more time. Hopefully, he can get right though. But yeah, to what Joe said, he's small.
Yeah,
he's small.
He's a scat back. Like scat backs are extremely productive for fantasy though. If they're in the right system and they get the ball in space.
They don't get hurt.
If they get the ball in space and avoid contact because of how elusive they are, like him, then they are dynamite for fantasy. But yeah, they are kind of glass cannon type of players. So
for sure.
Myles Garrett should have had a safety, but the refs fucked him on the spot for that. He sacked him in the end zone. I swear to fucking God. Myles Garrett should have had that one, but Kenny Pickett apparently has got a booty that's too big, and it was out of bounds or at the 1 or whatever.
Down at the 1.
Also, there was a really funny moment where Myles Garrett had picked up a Steelers helmet, and
I saw that.
Broderick Jones jokingly asked him what he was holding on to that loose helmet for, and. He said, if anyone shouldn't have that helmet, you shouldn't, Garrett. And Garrett just looked at him and said, hey, I'm just trying to be helpful, and smiled.
He ain't wrong, though. That was a fucking weapon. He used that as a weapon.
So
fucking tried to kill Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Dude.
So if you guys, for anyone who doesn't remember,
into a vegetable.
Yeah.
you can't.
For anyone
do this.
For anyone who's unfamiliar, Myles Garrett ripped Mason Rudolph's helmet off after he allegedly called him the N-word and hit him in the head with his own helmet. Like, not just like he's square on his skull, could have fractured his head, like killed him, literally. And he ended up pulling a suspension for, I think, 4 games or 6 games as a result.
4.
But yeah, it was a Steelers quarterback that is like kind of a fuck, and I don't know if he's even on a practice squad at this point. I think I saw him mentioned
for the Bears.
Yeah, he's probably on a practice squad because like quarterback down bad. Yeah, but yeah, I think that was fucking hilarious.
Since you brought that up, the Steelers benched Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, and fired Matt Canada, all losing after losses to the Browns. So if you want something to change in Pittsburgh,
lose to the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose to the Browns, you might need to look at something. It's kind of
you lose to a team that has gone 0-16 in their franchise history, and you need to have a think.
Mason Rudolph is the backup.
It's time to sit down
for the Steelers.
Look inward and see what's going on.
Oh, he's still on the Steelers. Okay.
He's still on the Steelers.
Mason Rudolph is
squad.
Yeah.
No, he's the backup.
Mike Tomlin just doesn't give a fuck. So
dude,
it's like that whole the interview with where they were asking him if he disciplined Claypool for that stupid bonehead play where it was like 10 seconds left in the game and he was celebrating his first yard gain.
Oh yeah,
and like basically lost in the game, and he was just like, "So did you punish Claypool for that play?" I did. Was it received? I don't know. Mike Tomlin he gives no fucks. And as soon as the Bears came calling, it's like, "Yeah, we'll give you a 2nd round pick for him." He was like, "Bet,
hell yeah,
pack your shit up, Chase."
Yeah. Dude, and it was like and it was an actual, like, the craziest thing about that pick too is it was the 30-second pick. It was like technically
because
in any other year a 3rd-rounder.
Because the Dolphins were tampering. They were and then they lost their pick, which was
Talk about value for Chase Claypool, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, he sucks. Jerry Jeudy had a trick play that was pretty cool. Bart played pretty well against a chippy defense. I think that was one of his better gains of the season. He's been,
I said, he used up
pretty
all
disappointing
on the Seahawks, and now he's just like can't do anything.
I mean, the Ravens are looking like a Super Bowl contender, and they are just a complete team at every level of the game, and they don't need Lamar Jackson to elevate. They don't need the 100 rushing yards a game Lamar Jackson to play, which is great for the Ravens, but it's pretty shit for fantasy because we all want the 2018 MVP Lamar Jackson, who was far and away the best player in fantasy football to own. So that's why Danny drafted him in the 1st round, and he's not getting that. But it's good to see that he actually did something this week. Derelict Henry is still derelict. And then the injuries is pretty much the reason why Danny's in the situation he's in.
Is at the point in his career where he's like, do I really want to keep sacrificing my body for a team that's not really going to go to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, the Titans window is closed. It's like Arthur Smith is no longer there. Mm-hmm. He's now destroying my Falcons.
So the only thing he can hope for is to be either traded or just move on. Just move on with his life.
I was surprised he didn't go at the deadline. I was really expecting him to go to the Niners.
But I don't think anyone could afford him.
Oh yeah, he does have a pretty sizable contract. That's true.
He wants, and he'll want more. Once he gets there, he'll be like, I'm not going to just go to your team for free.
I wonder how much of that is like his agent blowing smoke up his ass and him like, because like, I guess he could stay and get a bag.
Well, it's also like he's 30. He's not getting another major contract. He needs the money.
See, the thing is though, is that Derrick Henry could be the this generation's Frank Gore.
Frank Gore, yeah.
He very well could. He is genetically different than everybody in the world. There is one Derrick Henry. There's maybe 3 people in the world that are like him. And the other 2 don't play football. They're probably like sumo wrestlers or rugby players.
Facts.
So
I mean, even still, like, if you're a 30-year-old running back, I don't think you give up the money.
yeah, no, you should get paid. I think that there should be something that the league does to make payouts to running backs not count against the cap or something, because these guys deserve to get paid, and we need more talent in that position, and we need more people coming out of college to play the position, because like, why would they risk their body to play 3 years in the NFL when they could just be a wide receiver or a tight end and play for like 8-10 years
Or longer.
Yeah.
Not everyone's Jerry Rice, but
Yeah.
these guys need to get
there's never
paid.
gonna be another Derrick Rice. That's not happening again.
I mean, Derrick Henry could very well be the running back version of Jerry Rice. We'll see. He's fucking built different, man.
It's a weird human being. He's not normal.
He's also a really chill dude.
Yeah.
He's just a goddamn mammoth of a man.
Yeah.
But Danny
You,
does have
wants to be
Tyjae Spears, who is not Derrick Henry, but is a good football player and will be relevant for fantasy very soon. Like maybe even this season. Like maybe they shutter Derrick Henry and when they're out of it, or when they're getting close to the end, and they want to see what they have in Tyjae Spears. This is the thing that losing teams do, is they'll put in their rookies and see what they've got. And Tyjae Spears could be the guy that goes for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns during the playoffs, fantasy playoffs.
And I mean, honestly, he'll need it because he also has Michael Thomas, who is like, once again on IR.
Yeah, he got put on IR today.
Yeah,
He just can't.
so
Yeah. Michael
it's not
Thomas
great
is a
for-
mystery. Yeah.
welcome to why I didn't pick him up again. Because it's like one of those things where it's like every time I picked him, I got fucked because and he's not hurt right now. He went to jail. He fucking threw a brick through his fucking neighbor's construction worker's car, and so now he's in fucking jail.
Right.
Idiot.
Like, what
I mean,
are you
that
doing?
is why. I mean, also that is why I picked up A.T. Perry and have this crazy idea he'll like actually stay on a roster.
I'm sorry, Joe, but they're going
I
to
don't know
draft
about
someone else to sit alongside Chris Olave next season.
Yeah, I don't
Enjoy
know.
your gadget
They might.
player. But I'd
They
be happy
might.
to be wrong. The more good players in the NFL, the better. I want
I don't
as
know,
many
I-
stars as possible. It makes the game more
I
fun.
think Rashid is actually really good. So
He's really
I don't
good.
know if
Gonna-
it-
Shahid's
I don't know
gonna
if they
take
draft
on
another-
I
Michael
think-
Thomas to start.
I
I don't think
think
the
we need
argument's
to.
about Rashid Shaheed being bad. I think he's great.
Yeah, I think Rashid Shaheed is squarely in the wide receiver 3 role in that offense.
Right,
squarely.
and he goes.
He's not a big body guy. Like they need to get like a AJ Brown build guy in the draft, and they're gonna get him.
Isn't Olave big?
No, Olave is a elite route runner and a really shifty
a-
dude.
Calvin
Yeah, he's like
Ridley type.
5'10", isn't he?
Yeah, he's small and fast and
Oh, okay.
elusive,
He's not
and
great.
he's like the prime Alvin Kamara. It's like he's lubed up in butter. He's just like, how the fuck did you do that? So
Where'd he go?
so shifty. Yeah, he's gone. But like Derek Carr sucks. So we saw a glimpse of that last season, and no more, because they brought in the car.
And a car wreck.
Yikes.
All right, John. Advancing to 7-4, you are. Trey Hendrickson looked like a hungry big boy. He was like eating burgers out there. He just looked full.
Mike Evans still is Mike Evans. I mean,
Evans.
even with
Is-
the bad
Stabbing Chris Godwin in the back.
Fuck you.
Trevor's so mad. But
It's because it's obvious that him and Baker just don't get along. Like, it has to be
it's a
something to
chemistry
do
thing.
with, like,
It's a chemistry
yeah.
thing, for sure.
Either that
Not on
or
the same page.
Godwin's like, hey, I don't know how many more years you got left, Mike. You know, make this your last 1,000-yarder or something. Like, who fucking knows at this point?
The thing is, though, is that we know who Baker Mayfield is, and he's a first read guy. He throws the ball to his first read and isn't really good
That's
at
gonna
going
be
through his
Mike
progressions, and it's going to be Mike Evans. Like, Tom Brady elevated his receivers because Tom Brady was the best pocket passer in history. And he was able to throw the ball to both Chris Godwin and Mike Evans because
Right, but even before
Bruce
he
Arians
got
called like
there-
40 pass plays a game.
even before Brady got there, Godwin was fucking. Oh, like,
he had Jameis Winston throwing the ball, who is
throwing to anybody,
chucking it. I love Jameis Winston. Okay, I love Jameis Winston.
You love your.
He's great for fantasy. He's an absolutely terrible quarterback, but he's fucking awesome for fantasy.
And he's just fun to watch because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
McLaurin.
You don't get that with Baker.
Scary Terry didn't quite show up here.
Cam Sutton's catch on had another
Sutton had
really amazing catch.
A crazy TD.
So I wanted to say
that was wild.
Russell Wilson is looking like Russell Wilson again, and it's like
normal.
I'm happy to see that Russell Wilson is doing better in that system. Like, again, the quarterback situation in the league is fucking horrible. Russell Wilson is better than he was last year. That was the worst year of his career by far.
He gave the Seahawks a real big gift. And
Yeah,
then said, "All right, cool, I'm done."
Like Sean Payton has quietly been making up for that ridiculous Nathaniel Hackett slam after losing to him earlier in the season, and his because Nathaniel Hackett is calling,
put the work in.
He is running the worst offense that I think I've ever seen in New York, and Sean Payton is turning around that dumpster fire Denver team, and they're winning games. I think they've got like 6 or 4 wins in a row. 4 in a row. And this was a big win.
And I will say this too about Russ is that he looks like the Seahawks version of Russ, where it's like painful as fuck to watch for 3 quarters and then magic happens.
Yeah, but
somehow it all comes
that's
together.
Russell Wilson.
And Cortland Sutton is on the receiving end of that. There's like no other receiver you really want, because like Jerry Jeudy has got
Tyler Lockett on the team. He's the Doug Baldwin of that team right now.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
clutch.
That's what it is.
Cortland Sutton has always been clutch though.
I thought Mims was going to be there. But
Cortland, when Drew Lock was playing, and he was throwing the ball to Cortland Sutton, that was when people were starting to talk about Cortland Sutton as being an elite fantasy asset. It was when Drew Lock was his quarterback. And then we had this year of Russell Wilson where he was historically bad. That offense was a meme, a literal internet meme about the whole like more touchdowns than bathrooms in his mansion or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
hilarious.
And then this season you're starting to see the resurgence of Russell Wilson, but I think Steve Smith Sr. basically buried Jerry Jeudy mentally. Like when you get publicly shit talked by a Hall of Fame wide receiver, you don't come back from that.
It's pretty tough too. That's for
it's
sure.
tough. Mm-hmm. When you get called a tier 3 guy by Steve Smith, I don't know how you come back from that.
Well,
it's a pretty powerful Steve.
It's
because he talks shit to Steve.
You don't talk shit to Steve.
You don't talk shit to Steve Smith.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Come on.
Ninja, I don't mess with you.
That was
That shit was so fucking funny. That clip is up there with the Matthew Berry tilting about Alfred Morris thing.
Like I understand the back and forth between the two of them because I'm a human being and I get pissed off, as people know, quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And so if I was in both of their shoes, I would have responded exactly the same way.
Right.
There is no difference there. They're the same kind of people. They're just not recognizing it. That's the funny thing, is that both of them are the same person.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Steve Smith is a legend in shit talk. He's like when people put out the meme top 10s or whatever, like Steve Smith Sr. is like #1 all-time shit talker. Like this shit that if you go watch his like highlights and shit, they usually sprinkle in a couple of the quips he has for people, and it's like it's gangster as fuck. It's like, is Eminem writing that shit for you? Because, like, holy fuck, you just buried that dude.
The only guy that I know that's, like, it's not, like, the same type of shit talking. It's not, like, the, like, cutting, like, you know, Eminem bar. It's Tim Duncan, but because he was so much better than everybody else, and he just go up to them and be like, hey, good try. Which is just so humiliating.
It's like, oh, man.
That's
after he just embarrasses your ass and he says that, it's just like, you're done.
It's one of the best Kevin Garnett stories is like he drops like 30 something on him in a game, and like on like the 34th point or something, he just like taps him on the leg and is like, hey, nice try, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Brutal.
Shannon Sharp was also a Hall of Fame, like not only a Hall of Fame tight end. Shannon Sharp was a Hall of Fame shit talker as well for the same reason. He just gets under your skin. That dude knows how to fucking get into people's heads.
The video with where it's like he's miming the phone or he's got the phone in his hand. I can't remember off the top of my head. That shit's legendary.
He called the other guy's girl. That's what he did.
That's legend.
Yep.
So fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get back to the defense so we can wrap this up.
Thibodeau destroyed Sam Howell, and so did Okereke. Batting passes away, just
the
being
Giants'
an absolute
defense woke up,
force.
And then the triple stack here really
McKinney
worked out.
put 12 tackles as a DB, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And is it though?
I mean, it means that the Commanders were getting to the second level.
His line and his linebackers are doing
failing.
Shit.
Yeah. The rest of it, I mean, based on the linebacker and DL stats, it looks like they were blitzing the whole time. So of course,
if he doesn't get that, it's going to be a 60-point game on both sides of the ball.
I mean, they did just trade. The Giants also just traded their 3-tech to Seattle.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
their line is bad.
Yeah.
It was good. It's bad now.
Lots of blitzing.
There's a Leonard-sized hole in that defensive line now. I thought Jalen Hurts looked good. He had some really good passes in that game against one of the best defenses in the league. Like, I was impressed by Jalen Hurts. I thought he played fine.
He got hit by Chris Jones like 5 times and sacked twice, and he
just stood up and was still dealing. Like, I was like, damn, because Chris Jones is a scary dude. Like,
it's a big man to get landed on.
I don't want. Well, that's the other thing. Chris Jones has excellent form with the way that he tackles. Because, like, he gets you down on the ground, but he doesn't put all of his weight into you, and he braces himself. Like, he knocks you over, but then braces himself and then gets up.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He also he's smart enough to know don't get the penalty.
And he doesn't get the penalty. I can't remember a Chris Jones penalty aside from like maybe a odd false start here or there.
I was gonna say he gets false starts here and there, but that's because he's excited.
Yeah,
offsides kind of things. Yeah,
he wants to rush your ass. That's all he does. He like when he's not absorbing double, triple teams, he's sacking your ass. So yeah, he's trying to get off the ball. Yeah. He's also pretty young still too, so. He's going to be playing for a while.
Yeah, that's a big motherfucker.
He's not a spring chicken, but, like, linemen can play for a long fucking time.
Can play.
Not really.
I mean,
and he's like, isn't he 28, 29 right now?
Is
the thing. He's in his 30s.
Let me go look. He is 29.
Yeah, he's 29.
He's got like 3 years left.
Yeah, he's got plenty of. He's in his prime, really, as a lineman.
He's legit in his prime right now.
Yeah.
Last couple seasons have been ramping up, but ETN's usage has been going down. I'm wondering if we'll see more Tank Bigsby. The Jacksonville offense was just super pass heavy in this game, and ETN has just been kind of disappearing the last couple weeks. So I'm sure I think John's been looking at that.
I also think that's the Titans. Like the Titans have a good run defense and just like doo-doo butt corners and second.
Yeah. That is true.
Tank Bigsby's usage has been really consistent throughout the season.
ETN is just the guy.
Snap possession.
No.
The person who's actually making a cut in on ETN's snap count seems to be D'Ernest Johnson, which is a surprise.
D'Ernest Johnson was an interesting player for the Browns. I can see that. Maybe they thought they see something in him and want to feature him a little bit because he was a good player. He was the Jerome Ford behind Chubb
behind Chubb
in the past. A long time. And a couple times Chubb was out for a knee, as he does. D'Ernest Johnson came in and was very productive, but like the Browns have an amazing
had a great line.
Yeah. They're want to do matchups for next week?
Real quick. Stephon Diggs did nothing, but we all know what happened in that game. Alexander Mattisuk's son is bad and fumbled more. Sorry.
Alexander Madison is real bad.
Yeah.
He's just real bad. Don't Matt fleeced you. Sorry, John.
I wouldn't say that. He's
He
a running back with a pulse, so he's got value. Devin White Devin White was like last year and the year before a premier player in this league, and is just like Tampa's defense is fucking shocking this season.
Just floundered.
Like Ryan Neal does nothing. Like their defense sucks.
They're taking the year off. They were
I guess it's like you lose. Do they have a Brady hangover? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't think they need to play as much for Baker fucking Mayfield.
That's fucking stupid because that division is free. Your biggest opponent
absolutely.
there is Arthur fucking Smith with his elite weapons that he doesn't use.
Or New Orleans.
Or New Orleans with the car. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the car wreck.
Taking a year off. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. They should be playing to win the division and get in the playoffs because those coaches want their jobs, right?
I have to like choose. I want Baker to get a second contract, so I don't have to like wait and figure out like or get a contract from them, so I don't have to fucking wait for Aaron Rodgers to like take more ayahuasca or whatever the fuck he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tampa's going to pick up one of these quarterbacks in the draft. There's going to be a lot of them. Like Chris Godwin needs a new quarterback. I'm sure he's fucking not super happy about the situation that they're in. He's probably going to go, you know.
I don't think Baker is like a long-term starter.
Either they cut Mike Evans and he goes as a free agent to like Green Bay or something, and Chris Godwin becomes the number one, and then they draft a rookie. Like, that's
If Mike Evans gets cut, he's almost certainly going to New England because they're the ones who have the most reasonable cap situation to actually pay him.
I hope not, because New England is a graveyard.
I hope he goes to a place that'll get him 1,000 yards, so he just has 1,000-yard season every year.
Yeah.
Mike Evans only has a year. He's 30-something. He's 31, right?
Yeah,
receiver.
Yeah, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. It's like we thought he was like 34, but it's like he came into the league when he was like 21 and has played for 10 years.
Yeah, like he's not long for the league.
Anyway, let's head into next week's matchups, right?
Yeah, let's
wrap this up.
Let's see what we got. We got really good discussions though. I think we covered a lot from this week.
So just maybe this is a good point for the path to the playoffs nonsense that I've got here.
Well, let's actually. Where do I see the playoff bracket? Can I see it from here? Do I go to week?
You got to go to league. Oh no, there is like I don't know if you do it in.
There's
a little button. There's a little bracket button at the very top of the standings.
Top. Oh, is it this?
On the right.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry guys. Okay, there we are. This is where we're at now.
So this is a current situation, but with Casey in the 6th seed, I believe.
Yeah, so you'd have to replace Casey with.
That has to be done manually.
Yeah.
Right. Or no, sorry, Danny in the 6th seed?
No, it's Casey.
Is it? It is Casey.
The way it lies right now is it's Casey in the 6th.
It'd be Casey. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, either Danny or Casey has a good chance of because we're talking about the 5th seed right now in terms of a guaranteed playoff spot.
Yeah, because the 6th seed is points for
6th seed rule.
leader.
Currently, it's being determined by 30 more points. So Danny has 30 more points than Casey, and so he's in that 5th seed.
Right, because they have the same record. Yeah, and points for is the next, or tiebreakers then points for. So maybe Danny has the head-to-head over Casey, which I didn't actually look into. But basically, Kelsey, Joe, Danny, Casey, and I are all theoretically in the running. If we look at next week's matchup, you'll see that I'm going up against Jordan, so I'm basically eliminated. So, like, basically...
probably.
There's a statistical chance
Jordan is like one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
Jordan could fuck off here, and like his team could take an absolute dump next week.
It's not gonna happen.
But chances are good I'm eliminated.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is gonna destroy.
So like just gonna leave.
He's playing. Amon-Ra is playing in the legendary Detroit Lions Thanksgiving game. You don't think he's not going for 2?
Dude,
you're done.
He's going against Green Bay in the 9:30 game.
Oh, they
the early
hate
slate
Green
game.
Bay.
They hate Green Bay. It's gonna be a big game for the Lions.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if your defense does the right thing and covers him. But anyway, go on. We'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that next week. Anyway, so let's talk about people who actually have a chance to make this. Generally, it involves winning out, and that is the case for both Kelsey and Joe. Especially because they have Week 14 matches against each other.
Well, this is for the 6th seed, Joe. You are most likely going to be the 6th seed if you don't make the 5th seed.
Right. So this
I'm not winning out.
No one's catching up 200 points on him though.
So Joe has games upcoming against Josh next week, and then against Danny. If you can sneak
the Danny game is
out,
interesting because they're both dealing with awful injury situations, and then Josh's team is like a literal wild card. You do not know. He's like the Washington Commanders of our fantasy league. You have no idea what the fuck you're going to get from Josh.
Yeah, so I think those are theoretically winnable games, and then you have the head-to-head with Kelsey, who's also potentially still down bad. Like, you have a way to get to the 5. More than likely, I think you're taking the 6, just given your luck in fantasy. But
yeah, what is this? Like, winning out. Like, that's not happening. Come on.
Kelsey has like pretty much the exact same path. 2 must-win games against Danny and Josh, and then must-win against Joe in Week 14 in order to take the 5th. Danny has a little bit more wiggle room as it stands right now. He can take an L and still clinch the 5th seed, but if he takes 2 losses in his upcoming matches against either Kelsey or Joe, then he's likely out. And it all depends on the rest of it. Casey pretty much just needs to win twice. If Casey wins 2 of any of the next 3,
who's Casey
he's
playing
in the 5th
again?
seed. Casey is up against this week against Ben. Next week against Jordan, and in Week 14 against me. So
I can see him winning 2.
He easily has a chance to win 2 against both of us Packers fans. Just disregarding the juggernaut that is Jordan's team. Chalk that one up to an L right away. But yeah, so that is basically where the path to the playoffs lies. Currently, Danny and Casey obviously still have the best chances at the 5th seed. But Kelsey and Joe are not out of the running on the 5th seed, and the 6th seed is, of course, still up for grabs on.
6th seed's not up for grabs. Joe has that locked.
Exactly. If Joe doesn't clinch the 5, he's pretty much got it.
Assuming Joe
Joe doesn't get 80 points for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
he just needs to jog. He needs to jog over the finish line, pretty much.
Yeah,
I just need AJ Brown to actually be targeted and get.
You pretty much just need floor games. Like if you can make 100 points over the next 3 games, you're gonna get the 6th seed.
I mean, limping into the playoffs. Let's go.
Yay!
So upcoming next week.
That's how I wish to do it.
I think me and John, that's going to be close. Ben and Casey, again, like you're saying, that's a must-win game for Casey.
Yep.
You're going to get absolutely shellacked by Jordan.
Yep.
This is a must-win week for me because then I play you and then John, and you guys are trying to steal my 2nd seed.
Yeah, we're battling for the 1st seed.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Jordan have such an easy schedule? This fucked up, man.
I'm telling you, Jordan's got the PRP injections. He's
got a real easy schedule on the way out. I mean, he plays me.
He had a really tough schedule to start the season, though.
What are you talking about? He played Steve first, and then Casey.
Okay, early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, he plays me,
and then he played Ben.
Casey.
He played Ben twice this year.
He
played the worst
Casey
team twice.
and Ben twice this year.
Don't listen to him, Ben. You're fine.
I love you, Ben, but your team is trash.
Not doing good.
It's dog shit. Like I don't know what to tell you.
It's
my
rough.
team is kind of dog shit, as well, but I somehow squeaked into the
No,
second
no,
spot.
no. You have a bunch of veterans who score a lot of points. My team is secretly dog shit because I have a bunch of offensive players in systems that don't have. They have more ass than sense. Like Jesus
Secretly,
fucking Christ.
actually, Minnesota Vikings from the.
Yeah, my team is the Minnesota Vikings from last year. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting a first round bounce, but I'm here for it because I love fantasy and I'm going to play anyway. No matter how dog shit Kyle Pitts is.
I want that fucking
I
belt.
know you want the belt, but you're going to have to wrestle it out of Jordan's cold, dead fingers.
I might have
his
to.
200
With PRP
points
injected
scored.
fingers.
Yeah.
All
right.
Let's see.
Well,
Josh is going to be funny. I just love Joe's matchups and Josh's matchups. They crack me up. The fact that you're both playing each other is just so great. Danny and Kelsey, and then Trevor and Matt.
Yeah, it's like I said, this is a must-win week for me because then I play you and John.
Yeah.
And
John's
John's
team
a
is
force
good.
to be reckoned with, and you're sneakily every once in a while pop off with the 220 points.
I'm waiting for that for the playoffs because right now my team sucks ass. So.
But it looks like week 13. Do you have a bye? Yeah, it's Minnesota bye. So your defense and it's
week 14.
your
I'm in a
gets
bad
hurt
situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually play against you on like an easier week, which thank God.
We'll see. I'm in a bad situation though. Like I need Kenneth Walker back like really badly. But
Yeah.
Well, he has a legit injury, so he might be dead.
it's legit according to the coach.
According to the fucking greatest liar in Seattle.
In football history.
Dude, that dude just lies to his fucking team.
His whole career. Yeah. College, everything. His whole career he lied.
I didn't pay Reggie Bush. Motherfucker did.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, let's close it out here looking at Danny's logo for the league. I think this is awesome. I really appreciate that again, Danny, for taking the time to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, big shout out,
that.
We should get a ring with this shit on it. That would be badass.
Oh man, signet rings next year.
Without the text, but like with the shield and the crown on a ring would be so cool.
I like the name. I think the name would definitely. I don't know if it would fit on a ring, but it would look funny.
But yeah, we could definitely look into
ordinary
getting
do like an
jabronis.
LOJ on there.
get like a white gold ring. That would be sick.
Yeah.
It would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, defense wins championships.
And
Yeah,
Steve
it
sucks.
does. Fuck you both,
All right.
or all three of you. God,
Fuck
Have a good Thanksgiving.
2 weeks.
Yeah, have a good
Take it easy,
Thanksgiving,
bud.
everyone. If you're driving, be safe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, happy
have a good
Pilgrim
one.
killed the Indian Day.
Yeah.
Good luck
See you later.
on your football feast
Happy
day.
Manifest Destiny Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. Later.
Bye.